I got a lot of feedback, and I think that's what really like drove me even further, made me more passionate about, is that I would get so many texts, phone calls, DMs, but in every platform, like, oh my gosh, like you totally made my week. Like I can't wait to watch you guys next week.
The things I do for the fucking camera. Let's go with the mustache. Uno, dos, tres. Oh, oh man, I can see my titties, man. This week, we had an opportunity to speak with Miss Dagmara D. Andrade, Miss Slovakia, Miss Lender, Miss Mompreneur. She's super hilarious, definitely a smart woman, and has amazing business practices. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hit that like button, comment below, and subscribe. Keep swinging, and we hope to see you on the next one. Deuces.
I feel like off sitting on this side.
You want to sit on this side? You want to try it?
This is my best side.
That's your handsome side?
Yeah, that's my handsome. Fix my hair.
Ta-da!
Ta-da.
I'm handsome from both ways. You want to check your teeth though, because
Lipstick?
yes, ma'am. I checked my lipstick before I came in here, so I think I'm good.
How's now?
Still there.
Where? Front?
It's like all over the place.
Shit.
It's funny because I don't think a lot of people tell girls, and I'm just
It rarely happens to me though. It has something to do with like how much saliva you produce. That's what she said.
I was just
Dude,
smirking over there having a
so-
good time.
It does though. If you see a woman and she produces a lot of saliva, it's less likely for the lipstick to stick. But if
So
it's
those are the ones
right,
you want to go after then. But yeah, interesting. Fun new fact. So you've done these before.
yes, I've done a lot.
Yeah, with your friend. I saw him.
Yes.
I saw you chit-chatting, and I was like, ooh, they're having fun. I
We
wanna go
always
join
had
that.
so much fun. The one thing we did is we always started with the cocktail recipe.
Oh, okay.
So,
What's a good cocktail recipe?
gosh, we used to do like blueberry lemon drops, like sexy martini. We had like a Christmas like green apple martini that we did. We had some really good times there, for
Yeah.
sure.
Where did
Yeah.
you guys film at when you guys did those?
It was at a studio called the I Rant Radio Network, and we would literally just show up like at 8:30, fix lipstick, change out the mics, fix the video and all that, test the audio, and then we'd go live at 9 p.m. to like 10 for an
Oh,
hour.
so it was like a live show.
It was a
wasn't.
live show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It had always been live. I started it from the couch
Uh-huh.
in 2013 on January 22nd, which happens to be my birthday. Aquarius are the best people. Anyway.
I'm like, wait, that was really fast. January 13th.
January 22nd,
January
2013.
22nd. Okay.
Yeah, I decided to start, before podcasts were really popular, I decided to start a blog talk radio podcast, which was kind of like the platform a lot of people were using back then to do a podcast. And you would be able to set up a live podcast every week or however many times you'd want to. And I started from the couch. I said, you know what, I'm going to do this. I find this to be something that I'm really passionate about. So I started it, and you can see the viewers. And I went from 4 back then, right? And it was just nothing. It was just something to start getting comfortable with talking for a long time, So before the studio closed down, we were at like almost 5,000 live viewers every week that were at least on for at least 85% of the time. Like they were staying the whole show. And so that was just like, man, like we've come so far. And then all of a sudden they closed down. It was a big bummer.
So how long did you guys do it for?
Well, I did it by myself until 2016.
Wow.
For 3 years. And then she came, and I took breaks in between because the business was really busy back then. She came on one episode, I believe it was either 16 or 17. And she came on once, and after that, she's like, buddy, I want to come back. And I was like, I think you fit right in. Let's do this,
Yeah.
And the same dynamic we have like in what is it?
In general?
Damn, this fucking pen.
Generally
Generally,
speaking.
like anytime, it's what you see on there. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So we were able to bring that from the couch, from the kitchen, from wherever we were in the car, and we brought it live, and that's what people loved. So we would have a drink, and we would talk about different dating topics.
Oh, that's what it was
We would talk
about.
about cohabitation before marriage, how likely you are as far as if your relationship's going to last if you cohabitate before marriage.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or if you don't, what's the, difference between that? We talked about love languages. We talked about divorce. We talked about single mom,
Sounds like that
all kinds of
podcast would get
stuff.
me in trouble.
Yeah, yeah. It got me
Talking
into
about
some
those
trouble.
topics.
And you know what though? Now when I've dated in the past, a lot of people will find me on there, a lot of men, and they'll be like, "Oh, they'll think my viewpoints are, to align with like feminism," which at that point I was. I would say now I'm a lot different. But it's funny because they would go back and look at the episodes and then judge me based off that. So it was kind of hard keeping like a separate. They didn't understand that what was on there was like real, but also like hyped up. You know what I mean?
It,
Like
it
you have to be hype when you're on a radio show for an hour. Like you can't just be like this. It's hard. Like I find this a little bit harder, actually a lot harder to do it this way than to do it live.
mm,
Because when you're live, you are who you are. You know what I mean? You're just there.
yeah,
People are watching, you have no choice, you got to go.
yeah.
Boom, boom. This is more of kind of like, well, I'm being recorded, so
Oh my god,
oh my God, how am I going
I'm
to
so
look like?
nervous.
Yeah, so it's definitely different. And we did try to do it from the house after we had the whole setup. I trained myself in producing the show live. It's really hard to do it as I'm being recorded live to produce it and throw in all the, the B-roll and all that, those other videos or whatever we were referencing. I would throw that up, and I had a hard time doing that and focusing on, you know, staying my happy self.
It's well, first of all, kudos to you in actually starting that because I think a lot of people don't start things because they're scared
Yeah,
and because of judgment and because of lack of knowing.
absolutely.
And I think the biggest thing is, and it's not always, right? It's not in every capacity, but it's saying commit and then figure it out.
Absolutely. That's what it was.
That's what I do a lot of times. There's a lot of times where you shouldn't do that. Like, definitely not,
Yeah. It's kind
right?
of like in a relationship, like let me commit and then figure it out. Usually doesn't work.
Yeah, it's definitely something that, like, with you saying like it's a passion of yours, or
Hmm.
obviously you enjoyed it, right?
Absolutely.
What did you enjoy about it?
Oh my gosh, what did I enjoy about it? I enjoyed really making a difference in people's lives. I got a lot of feedback, and I think that's what really like drove me even further and made me more passionate about it, is that I would get so many texts, phone calls, DMs, but in every platform, like, oh my gosh, like you totally made my week. Like I can't wait to watch you guys next week. Oh my gosh, like I was having a rough day and you changed my whole attitude. Like I totally forgot what happened during the day, or wow, you gave me some really, good knowledge about relationships. You helped me save my marriage, stuff like that. Really was like, wow, like I can go home and just feel so good about it. And then following day, it takes up so much energy to do a show live because you're just like, you have to be on, like you have to be like super high energy, which I normally am. And
You need that coffee.
yeah, by Friday morning, because we would do it Thursdays, by Friday morning, I would wake up and my voice was gone from talking like for over an hour, like nonstop.
It's funny
So
you
that
say
was
that
rough.
the different personality you need to have when you're live.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're experiencing right now,
Yes. Tell me more.
yeah, I'll tell you. It's a part of me,
Right.
right? And a part of me is like extremely calm, extremely
Yeah,
mellow,
I've noticed.
right? Like how I am right now.
Yeah.
But if I do a live, which I do
Mm-hmm.
a lot of lives on TikTok,
Yeah.
it's different. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people can't tell or they assume that that's me, right? They assume that
Right.
that's me as a person.
Right.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, like how do you like I can't walk around with this energy all the time.
Absolutely. It's so draining.
It's extremely draining. You're communicating with an audience.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to be funny or maybe well, it's not funny, but it's more entertaining.
Yeah,
right?
because you have to watch everything you say, every word that comes out of your mouth. Like you have to kind of think in advance of what you're going to say. So you're consuming a lot of like,
Hmm.
brain energy, but then also like just the way your demeanor, you have to be like uppity. You
Yes,
know what I mean?
100%. And one of the things my mom, she told me the other day, she goes, she's like, you better not tell anybody. I'm like,
Oh,
I
great.
won't tell everybody.
Mom.
Yeah. And she's like,
Mom.
you, you're just so calm, right? Tienes cara de amargado. Like you have this face of just like very stern.
Yeah.
And she goes, you need to be like hyped up.
Yeah.
And I said, Mom, like on the podcast stuff that I'm doing, it's not a show.
Right.
Like, hey guys, how you doing?
Right.
I could
Exactly.
do that.
Yeah.
I could totally do that. And I do that if I'm doing events. I do that if
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing a live. I can,
Right.
that part of me exists, but I'm not going to do a podcast for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, depending on, how interesting the person is.
Absolutely.
Fucking amped up like I just drank 5 of those.
Right. Yeah.
So it is
Absolutely.
draining,
It is draining. Yeah. And
but
after
it's a
you,
part of you. It's not all of
absolutely.
you.
No, it's a part of me.
And the other thing is, whatever you say, whatever you said, right, which I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
obviously people found positive and enlightening.
Absolutely.
There was also some viewpoints that you changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you were
Looking
the same
back.
person from 2013 that I'm talking to now,
Oh, no, no, no.
if I was the same person 10 years, well, no, actually
Well, I was a
10
lot
years ago.
thinner, but
Okay, well maybe I'll talk to this person now. So, um 10 years ago, I was a different person. I think people change every 5 years, like a drastic
you
change.
think so?
I think
For
drastically,
both men and women?
I think it's harder for us to grow up.
Yeah.
It's harder for us to grow up. And that's like the fact that we don't have, and I don't say this in a negative way. I know you don't know me like 100% personally, but
Yeah.
I think you know my humor.
Absolutely.
But we don't have an expiration date.
Mm-hmm.
And so we don't got to grow up.
Right.
But women have an expiration date. And it's like, well, for most, am I getting married? Am I getting a
Mm-hmm.
family? Am I finding a man? Like, family comes into the picture a lot sooner than most men. And so
Mm-hmm.
women have to grow up sooner than men they do. I mean, obviously, it's why I would imagine most women date older men,
Mm-hmm.
and then most older men
Mm,
date younger
well,
women, you know?
yeah.
Um, yeah, maybe some like cougars and milfs and all that stuff. That's a matter of preference, but it's like a level of maturity that it takes us longer to get there. And I've heard Jordan Peterson talk about it, and he's just like, it's not like a thing that I think, it's a thing that I know. It's a thing
Mm-hmm.
it's just, it's science almost. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's behaviors. And so, yeah, I think 10 years ago, I mean,
Yeah, that was 10 years ago.
that's 10 years ago, dude.
Damn, that's like a decade, huh?
You think? I was like, that was a millennia ago.
That was so long ago. Wow, 2013, my oldest was 10. Now she's 20. That's like a huge difference.
But imagine,
Mm.
like, let's say that, right? So between 10 and 15, she goes from elementary to middle school to high school.
Yeah, that's
So it's
crazy.
that change of like, oh, we used to take my kids to elementary, and then it's middle
Yeah,
school, the problems that happen there, then it's high school, and then preparing and planning for college.
yeah.
So both you and I do finance.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look at people and I look back like 5 years, and when I talk to them about either 5 years back or 5 years forward, part of that conversation is rewind 5 years ago. And where were you? Oh, I wasn't making this much. I wasn't making, let's say, six figures. They were in, maybe making 50, 60. I said, okay, project 5 years into the future. Where will you be? And what about your kids too? Like, like it's not that far away.
Mm-hmm.
5 years is most car loans, right?
Yeah,
And how much life changes in 5 years.
it could be a lot.
It, it,
Or
I,
for some, it could be very little.
for me, it's been
Yeah,
significant.
absolutely.
Personally, my
Same.
personal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. In 10 years, I went from married to divorced, single mom, and now a business owner with my baby daddy. That's some shit right
I
there.
got 4 baby daddies, so I beat you. Don't trip.
What?
8
I
babies,
knew
you
it.
know.
Hey, babies, four daddies.
Yeah, 8 babies, 4
Who's your
daddies, a whole lot of child
daddy?
support, baby.
Who's your daddy?
Um, so you don't do that with your friend anymore? You guys don't like chit
No, well,
chat?
she was my neighbor,
Yeah.
became my best friend, and then she moved to Georgia last year. Broke my heart.
Shout out to the homie in Georgia.
Shout out to Buddy. Um, yeah, she moved out there. So as much as we want to do it, it's always like saying it, but we just don't do it. Because again, it's hard. Like I was saying, it's hard to record because her and I are really high energy. And so if we know someone's recording or we tried to do it before, we're like, I'm like, I can't do this, Buddy. This is not me.
Yeah.
Like I gotta be on live. Like I have to. That's like my radio version of me, you know?
Do you go live on social media?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I
On
feel like
what?
I've lost my touch though,
Yeah.
you
Why?
know, because I used to do this every
Practice.
week. And, you know, when you do something every week and you already know, like your mind works really like going from scripting my show, which I did in 2013, I scripted everything for quite a while. And then I realized when I threw out the script, it just became that much better, right?
More natural.
Yeah, very natural. But I would always have an idea like, hey, what are we going to talk about this week? Okay, we're going to talk about cohabitation, right? So
That's such a
I would,
cool word.
cohabitation, I actually learned about cohabitation in communications class in college. But what, what we would do is we would pick a topic and then I'd be like, you go do your research and I'll go do my research because we both have very different viewpoints based off like what we've gone through, right? And so we would do that. We would bring it to the table, like right before the show, like a couple days before, and we would pinpoint, like, I like that. Let's talk about that. I like that. That's definitely like really interesting. And it would be all like, you know, valid points of views or research and things like that. So it would be really interesting to talk about. So then I would just put key points like on my phone or on a little notepad. And I'm like, all right, buddy, we got this. All right, boom, we go. And sometimes we would go off script, you know, like meaning like even go off the notes. I'm like, what is I talking about? But that just made it so fun
Yeah.
because you mix drink in there, you know, but
Oh yeah, I forgot to get you a drink. I was gonna get you a Four Loco.
a four loco,
Yeah.
cuatro loco.
Cuatro Locos, fool.
What is a four loco?
You've never had a Four Loco?
No, what is that?
Ew.
Ew, you,
Gross. Like you're gonna end
you.
up in a bush, or at least I would.
What?
Four Loco? I would say it's like a cheap. I mean, it's just gonna get you drunk. It's fruity, a bunch of different
Oh, so it's like
flavors.
not a particular
There's a couple.
alcohol?
It's called Four Loco,
No,
and they
I
sell
know,
it at
but
gas
it's like
stations.
it's
And
not like a beer. It's not like a
no, it's like a
the
seltzer, maybe like it
it's like a
tastes like an
seltzer.
energy drink with a
Oh,
bunch of alcohol in it.
yeah, that
A
sounds
bunch of
nasty.
alcohol. Like
Like
whoa.
what percentage, do you
I
know?
think it's like 18%.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Like one can?
one can.
Oh no, no, no. It sounds like a bad time to me.
Yeah, so it's like when I used to drink and I was a lot younger, it's like what's cheap?
Yeah.
What are we drinking on the way to the,
Yeah.
pregame?
Pre-game. Mm-hmm.
So then this way, like I'm drinking maybe two or three drinks inside, but
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
this can
Yeah.
is really just gonna get me on that.
Yeah.
I'm
Get you to
good.
that level.
Like I'm good.
Yeah. I
I'm good.
pre-gamed this last weekend.
Yeah. But if you drink two of those, then no
No
bueno.
bueno.
No
No.
bueno.
So tell me about that. Tell me why don't you drink? Not that anyone should be against it. I think it's very admirable, but why did you choose not to drink?
Why did I choose not to drink? Everything
Or is it a
hurt.
choice?
It's a choice.
Okay. Because some people have to do it for, you know, health reasons. But
But it's still a choice.
yeah, no, for sure.
My dad's dad died of alcoholism. He
Mm.
was told if you drink again, then, you'll pass. And he
Mm-hmm.
did. Um, so he made a choice, right? He made a choice that his family wasn't important and alcohol was. For me, I was just tired of going home with random men.
I knew it.
Ah,
I knew it. Hence the four baby daddies.
exactly. Um, no, I was when I stopped drinking
Which was when?
a little over 10 years ago, or
Okay.
maybe around 10 years ago.
Okay, so we're back to the whole decade thing.
Yeah, the
Okay.
decade. I think I wrote it in a book somewhere. I have no idea. Um, I was in pain,
Really?
pain, physical pain,
Mm-hmm.
emotional pain, um, just pain.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was just not. It's what they say, right? People stop drinking or people stop doing something when they hit rock bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember battling with alcohol, wanting to be able to party
Mm-hmm.
and wanting to be responsible, wanting to do what I do for a living, wanting to
Mm-hmm.
be the person I am without it. And I just couldn't find it. Like I couldn't find a way to balance it. I
Mm.
couldn't find a way to drink and go to work the next day.
Wow. Okay.
Like if we're drinking, we're drinking.
Like you're gonna black out.
Like we're gonna end up in Vegas, we're gonna end up in
Oh,
San Diego, we're
like
gonna end up in
hangover.
Mexico. Like that's it. Like I can't go to an event and have a beer. I'm not going to an event to have or dinner to have a beer or a glass of
Mm-hmm.
wine. What's the point of having a beer?
Right. Yeah.
It's we're gonna drink until this night just takes us, to a ranch in the middle of nowhere and
El rancho.
like end up in very
Compromising positions.
extremely compromising positions. And so I battled with it to the point until the point that I accepted defeat.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it was for me. It's like, okay, I have to I've always been combative. I've always been tenacious. I've always been, I think, doing more
Mm-hmm.
than what's ever required of me. And so I had a struggle admitting that I couldn't control it.
Mm.
It's like an ego check. It's like, what the
Right.
fuck, man? Like, why can everybody else do it and I can't?
Mm-hmm.
Why can everybody party and then go to work and I can't?
Mm.
Like, it's so hard. It was so hard.
Okay.
But then I got to the point where I said, no, like, I can't beat alcohol. I
Mm-hmm.
can't beat it. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
And I was sitting on my porch in Culver City. It was a nice breeze, clear day. I live by the beach,
Oh
you
wow.
know,
That's nice.
and I had an interview that I was prepping for. I was prepping some
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And then I went to the gas station, picked up some tall cans, and I sat there and I popped one. And I think I want to say I drank half of it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not even half of it. But as I'm sitting there, I'm thinking like, okay, this potential meeting that I'm gonna have could change my life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not happy where I'm at. Like I'm not, physically, emotionally, financially, like I'm not the man that I should be being in
Mm-hmm.
life. Okay, if I stop drinking and this goes well, I think I could be better.
Mm-hmm.
And I was by myself, like just sitting
Mm-hmm.
there, and that's it. That was a moment that I just made that choice to stop.
Wow. That's crazy.
And then afterwards, I mean, it's a struggle to stay sober, especially, you know, if you want to keep drinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so then it was like the AA meetings and then getting a sponsor and
Mm-hmm.
then trying to read the book. And people have always said, like, you need to follow the process. And they're so not me,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, but I figured out a way. I figured out a way. But like the AA meetings, I heard so many stories of people and what they went through. I saw the guy from, I think it's Daft Punk. He's on one album, and I saw him in Santa Monica speak, and he's telling his story, and I'm like, oh, I done that. I do
Mm-hmm.
that. I've been through that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, damn. And this was from Daft Punk, like this older gentleman. I've seen famous people tell their stories, and I'm like, they're just like us.
Mm-hmm.
And hearing someone else's story, just like what you're saying about people texting you and messaging you and
Mm-hmm.
telling you thank you for the
Mm-hmm.
messages you put out there. It's what I understood in that moment is that everybody has a story and everybody has maybe struggled with one thing or another. And me hearing these people helps me assimilate and understand that I can get out of this.
Absolutely.
So it was a lot, man.
Wow.
It was a lot.
Started from the bottom. Now we here.
Whoa, whoa. Yeah, so I haven't drank in about 10 years. Anytime I drink
Wow.
something, and it tastes kind of funky, I'm like, wait, what is this? Like, who's trying to
Mm.
get in my pants?
You was trying to get my pants.
This waiter just put a shot of
Hank.
something.
Hank.
So
Get the trailer.
get the trailer.
Hank.
Cause I'm a heavy sleeper and I sleep on my stomach. So you know what I'm saying?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're a tummy sleeper. I'm a side sleeper. I'm a side sleeper. Yeah, I feel like I get suffocated when I'm like on my tummy.
I toss and turn
You
everywhere.
do?
Yeah.
I go
Tummy.
side to side because I realized after sleeping on one side for so long, my face was lopsided.
Well, it actually messes up your ribs.
Really?
Yeah, because you're putting so much pressure to
Absolutely. I
your
didn't think about
muscles and
that.
all that stuff.
But I started sleeping on my other side to make up for the last
For
how many
the
years that I slept
the
on one
crooked
side.
face on one
Well,
side.
no, I ended up having to get Botox for that. And no, it's just one side of your body is stronger than the other. And that's why like my wrinkles were kind of like lopsided a little bit. So I'm like, I needed Botox to fix that, you know? Because it's like when I would smile, one eyebrow was higher than the other slightly. Yeah. So I'm sure it had to do with the side I was sleeping on.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like it was always my right that was higher.
See, like
And
I
I
would have
slept on
noticed
this
that. The
side.
only thing I would
Well, no, I have Botox now
oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay,
to
but like
fix
if you notice that
it.
motherfucker, then we're having a problem.
Yeah.
But Botox helps with a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Medically, it helps with
Yeah.
migraines. People have told me that.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, they use Botox for everything nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. I used to like knock it
Mm-hmm.
and like don't knock it until you try it because until I started seeing the legit wrinkles in my forehead, I'm like, I'm gonna try this Botox thing out, right? Let me see what this is all about.
Right.
And then as soon as I got it, I was like, okay, I look cute.
Hey, girl.
No, it just actually really like I think the solution has, you know, obviously things to freshen up your skin or whatnot, moisturize it. I'm assuming I may be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But it allows for you
Let
to,
me Google it.
yeah, it allows for your makeup to apply so easily. Like it's just like a
Interesting.
new canvas. You know,
Yeah.
can you imagine like you take out the wrinkles out of a paper? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And now the paintbrush goes on a lot smoother. So that's how it is.
So can you help me put on my makeup next time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
may I help you.
It's funny because I mean, I don't know. I'm just a guy, I guess. Um,
No, really?
well, to the degree that I don't care. I'm just like
Yeah.
I look in the mirror and
No,
I'm
you don't
like
need to care.
I look in the I will tell you this. I've seen myself in the mirror and I'm like you're not a boy anymore. You know,
Yeah.
like I could see
The aging.
age,
Yeah, absolutely.
and
And that's okay.
yeah, we age like a fine wine.
I've aged quite a lot, but I just don't like the forehead wrinkles. That's the one thing.
Well, that's the thing, right? So yeah.
For me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of it has to do with me not wearing my glasses when I'm supposed to. So like I'm always squinting,
Mm,
so it makes the wrinkles more pronounced, you know?
yeah.
So I'm trying to learn not to do that, but I don't like wearing glasses 24/7.
I squint a lot. I have a sensitivity to light.
Oh, I hate light.
Yeah, so sensitivity to light, and that also applies to my skin. So like when it's really hot, like I get super itchy, like
Yeah,
extremely
I
itchy.
hate heat. I freak out. It makes me so claustrophobic. I feel like I can't breathe.
Mm.
Like during Christmas time, I won't even go into the stores because they turn up the
Oh,
heaters.
that's true. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they
I'm
turn
like,
up the
what are you talking
heaters.
about?
No,
Where
haven't you
where are you
noticed that?
experiencing Christmas? No, because obviously Christmas is cold, but
Yeah.
you know.
So when it's cold and then they turn up the heater and you go in there and there's like so many people, it's like I
Yeah.
can't breathe. I can't be around
You
like a
can't breathe?
large. I couldn't breathe. But yeah,
So,
I can't stand. My office is always dark. I don't
where
like
is your
working in the
office?
light. My office, our office is off of Adams in Riverside, close to downtown, where the dealerships are.
I have no idea where that is. Okay, but
Off
it's in
the
Riverside.
91. Yeah, off the 91, like between the 15 and downtown,
Is
like
everybody still
halfway.
going in?
No,
No.
nobody goes into the office.
Do you
What do you notice about that?
like here
Yeah,
or oh, everybody still comes in. We never
everybody still
stopped.
comes here.
We never
Yeah.
stopped.
Yeah, our people just don't.
I think it's the majority of offices because again it's the 80-20 rule. So 20% actually produce, 80% don't. And so then if you have a large office and you have 200 agents, the
Mhm.
top producing agents are out on the field and then the 80% got out of the business or stay at home and watch TV.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
it's very
I'd have to agree with that.
it sucks.
It is
I mean, it sucks to the degree
sucking.
like as like as a broker, you have this facility, and then now no one shows up.
Yeah, that's something I've struggled with. Like, hey, we got this office, mind you, it's not super huge, right? But it's comfy and cozy, and I absolutely love it. But I go in there and it's empty, and
Yeah,
then I'm like, I'm paying for this for what?
yeah,
You know? And that monthly like rent payment, I'm like, oh, I don't want to write this fucking check right now for
yeah.
this rent payment because nobody fucking comes in here and fucking produces. And you know what though, I've noticed, and so I'm like, I got this. But one thing that everyone used to tell me was, don't get complacent, don't get comfortable, right? Because at the time we had, as a lender, we were well known for FHA and VA streamlines and Earls.
Earl.
Girl. And so back then in, 14, 15, there was no recoup require. You know what I mean? There was no recoupment. And so back then, these brokers and LOs were churning these
Yeah,
Earls left and right. And so I was making a good amount of money and I thought, oh, I landed these clients, which I still work with some of them, which is awesome. I love that. But if I work with these clients and they send me 150 loans a month, like I'm done. Like this is easy. Not realizing the industry is so cyclical. Guidelines changed and boom, lost all of the business in a matter of hours. It's heartbreaking to go through that. And I used to get so butthurt when I would like lose a loan or something like that or it wouldn't go through. And now I've learned to just be like, I can't do really much about what I can't control. You know what I mean?
how long have you been in the industry?
Since 2010.
Okay,
It's
and
13 years now.
that's a long time.
It is a long time. And
That,
before then, I was still like around it. My ex-husband has been in mortgage since we were married. I was like 17. So I was on the sidelines raising the kids while he was handling business back then. And I saw it and I was like, ooh, I don't know about this. I don't like this, you know?
you know what's funny? Because people hear me on the phone, like let's say I'm with friends or out,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the things that they've asked me is like, let's say we lose a client,
Mm-hmm.
um, and they'll say, "Hey, well, can't that isn't that client committed to you?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "Yeah, verbally."
Yeah, exactly.
And they're like, "Wait, wait, 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 wait. So you've been working with this person for a year, you fix their credit, you help them put things together, but they went somewhere else, because let's say an eighth better in rate, for
Yeah.
example." It's like, and they're like, "They can do that?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Did you charge them for a year?" No. "Did you charge them to fix the credit?" No. Like, there is absolutely zero recourse for loan officers
Yeah.
for everything that we do
Absolutely. It's
for our clients.
annoying.
It sucks.
It
It
really
sucks.
sucks. I feel like a slave sometimes. You ever feel like a slave?
I do, but this is the other part too. Like you said, it's like part of my perspective has changed,
Right.
right?
And it is about perspective for sure when it comes to that.
I just the there's the duality of like thought to say it's like I think as an industry and as loan officers and everybody that's a broker or a banker, um, it's set in place that the consumer can shop to benefit the consumer.
Absolutely.
Totally get it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you already have all these regulations, you have, let's say, RESPA or TILA,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, whichever one you want to call it, you have the CFPB in place, you have
Mm-hmm.
all these regulations upon regulations and regulations.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't a client, after maybe going through a class, after meeting with several
Mm-hmm.
brokers, say, you know what? You are my broker. Okay, just like an attorney. Go ahead and sign the retainer, or let's go ahead and
Yeah,
get this done.
absolutely.
Realtors can do that. They have
Right.
buyer's agreement. They
Mm,
have a listing agreement.
right.
Why can't lenders? And why doesn't our advocacy groups, again,
Mm-hmm.
NAM or CAMP, advocate for something like that?
They should.
Yeah, foes. No, that's part of the thing. So you were
Yeah.
saying for your partner, right? So you would see your partner doing these things, and you would see how
Yeah.
crazy it is. People
Yeah.
see me and they're like, dude, what the fuck? You got to work these hours, you got to do this, and you're not getting
Yeah.
paid. And it's like, it's a crazy business, but I love it.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. But you have to, like, if you're going to get into this, and I always tell the newbies, this business is not for the faint of heart. You
No.
need to be ready for shit to go sideways. Even when things are going amazing, all of a sudden, the underwriter pulls the condition out of their ass, at
Hmm.
the last minute before docs because he or she or whatnot, they didn't see it when they first looked at the file. So there's so many moving parts to lending, so many moving parts, right? That anything and sometimes everything goes wrong
Yeah.
and you can't let it get to you. And I think that's like the biggest thing I've learned in the last 10 years is I went from like crying my eyes out over, things that didn't work out on a loan or being stressed out about a loan to now being like, okay, like we're here. What are we going to do to get past this? Do we have a solution? Yeah, we do. We have a few. Okay, what are they? ABC, right? And let's move it in the direction of fixing this. And if there's really nothing, like nothing can be fixed, then it just wasn't meant to be. You know what I mean? Because we are dealing with other, consumers' biggest purchase of their lives. And so we're also dealing with their fate and destiny, right? And so for whatever reason, if that deal should not go through, yes, it affects us, but it's not just us, it's also the borrower. And I think that is really, a huge thing as well. It's not just, us being stressed. They're stressed out as well. And, you know, things are out of their hands. That's if things go wrong and it's not their choice to cancel, obviously.
It's I tell people, look, there's about 100 people in any given real estate transaction. When you start adding everybody up, from the
Mm-hmm.
appraiser to title to, let's say, my processing team to, you know, the agents, the TCs,
Mm-hmm.
termites. And especially if they're extensive teams, and even if, let's say, it's not 100, let's call it 50 people that are involved in a transaction. You as a lender, you're collecting all of that,
Right.
right? So you're ordering the appraisal, that's coming back to you. Title, that's coming back to you. Escrow, that's coming back to you. Employment verification, that's coming back to you. And
Mm-hmm.
you are managing all these different people,
Right.
because within 20 days, you have to close that transaction.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because if not, it's your fault, because you
Yeah.
delayed the transaction. It's
Yeah.
like, wait. The appraiser couldn't inspect the property because the listing agent wouldn't
Yeah.
answer the phone,
That's
or
3 days, let's just say, right?
all right. And then requesting fees. And then escrow didn't send you the fees
Yeah.
because, hey, the deposit wasn't in. Well, can you still send them? Yes, but we don't like
Yeah.
to. Okay, that's another 3 days.
Yeah.
So there's all these things that you deal with in this industry, and it is not for the faint of heart.
Yeah.
If you're weak, if things affect you, it will eat you,
Absolutely. It will eat you alive.
because
Like
of the second
ruthless.
part. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's because of the second part, because then obviously it's affecting your pocket. But then, second, if you have a heart, then it hurts you because that family can't get that
Mm-hmm.
home, or your realtor can't get paid,
Or
and
someone's losing money or
someone's losing
something.
money. And
Or
that's
just,
like the part that's
yeah.
like, ah.
No, yeah, it hurts. And it hurts too when you don't have a team that's on board
Hmm.
and working together. So you have to work together with the borrower and give them that heads up. Like when I ask for documents, please try to have them ready. And we scrub the file, make sure we ask for everything up front so that we need very limited items when the approval comes out. So we have my ops manager, who's the branch partner, who used to be an underwriter. So we have all these things in place, right, to make sure. But the borrower needs to be on board to say, hey, okay,
Excuse me.
like I need to get these documents in. Escrow title needs to be aware. Like I put in my emails, like, hey, we just want to make sure we get ahead and that we're on time. And, I put third request, fourth request, fifth request. I don't care how many requests, I will pick up the phone and get what I need. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's just so many moving parts, right? It's like a traffic jam. Someone kind of there's a flat tire, all the shit goes haywire. You know what I
It
mean?
it's a puzzle,
It
and I love
is.
it.
It's fun putting it together.
It's
And then when it
fun.
closes, yeah, it's like that's the best thing I don't even think it's exciting when you get CTC. I think it's exciting when it's like funding at this point. Like,
You know what's funny? And this will sound bad. When it funds, it's when I'm the least excited
really,
because it's over.
because it's over and yeah. Well, it depends on the transaction, right?
Well, okay, yeah. True, true, true.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because if you
yeah.
have like a really shitty transaction where it's like everything is
No,
going
thank
wrong,
God.
right?
Yeah.
Right? That will just like, you might not be eating, you might not be sleeping. So as
Mhm.
soon as it funds, you could maybe get a good night's rest in on one of those. You know what I mean?
You know what? Early in my career, yes, I would say yes. Now, I'm obviously extremely happy for the clients. We call them, congratulate them,
Mm-hmm.
super stoked. That's the
Yeah.
ultimate goal. And our partners, right? Like, I'm happy for them.
Right, right, right.
I'm elated for
No,
them.
yeah, for sure.
But for me, I'm just like, the fun part for me was
Putting the pieces
like
together.
looking at, like, okay, like something I was doing right now before you came in was someone who's looking for down payment assistance.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, where's the DTI at? Where's the front end? Where's the back
Mm-hmm.
end? Can I pay off debt? They have a gift. Do I combine it with a 3% with a 5%? Do I buy down the rate? Do
Mm-hmm.
I do the MI buyout?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
To make
numbers.
it work, especially when you're like at, super close on your DTI.
Hmm.
You're just trying to wiggle everything around, you know
Hmm.
what I mean?
It's
Wiggle, wiggle,
wiggle,
wiggle.
wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Do, 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 do.
I could wiggle. I got a
Is that
channel,
how
guys.
the song
Go
goes?
send me a DM and subscribe to the Wiggle
Yeah,
channel.
subscribe, follow.
Yeah.
Follow for more content.
What is it?
Mm.
Share, like, and comment, or
No,
comment.
share, like, and yeah,
Share,
share,
like, and
like,
subscribe.
subscribe, and comment below if you want to see more content.
Yeah. See, that's another thing. Like my stuff, people have told me, like, why don't you have a call to action?
Yeah.
That's not the point. That's not the
You know
point
what
of what
my
I do.
call to action is?
What is it?
Shut the fuck up and watch my shit.
I like that. I like that.
you know?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna put on this one, like in the
Because
beginning of
people
it.
are just gonna come and watch if they like to see, you know what I mean? If they enjoy you, you don't really need a call to action. They're gonna come back. You know what I mean?
Well,
Right?
even if it's not the podcast stuff, even if it's just like any of the videos, right? Like informational videos about what you do
Yeah.
as a lender. Okay, you're obviously watching my video.
Right.
You obviously know how to click on a profile.
Right.
And if you're interested, you will, like, you're not dumb. You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So why do I need to tell you, hey guys, give me a phone call or
Yeah.
send me an
Follow.
email? And
Yeah.
it's like, really, dude? Like, I don't know, but older agents,
Mm.
maybe
Yeah.
people who don't necessarily are, um, I guess, versed in the social media sphere,
Yeah.
they want you to do that. I'm like, nope. Hey, George, you should schedule your content. Like, schedule it 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. because that's when people are online. I mean, if they watch it, they watch it. And if they don't, like, it doesn't hurt me.
That's the one thing I learned too is reminding people, hey guys, we're going live today. Hey guys, don't forget we're going live. Or, tell my friends. And it's like, if they want to watch, they'll watch. And if not, then they won't fucking watch. And they'll like it if they want to like it. And if they don't, they won't like it. You know what I mean?
You miss that?
Do I miss the show?
Yeah.
Oh, every single day. Yeah, absolutely.
Are you hiring? You want another partner that doesn't
Yeah,
drink,
let's
that
do it.
maybe is a little bit more
Yeah, mellow.
mellow?
We should do it. We would have like topics like male perspective and a female perspective.
No, dude, that's just
No?
trouble. That's just,
Really?
yes.
But not like not like what you would think like in a toxic way where I'm gonna challenge. I want like
All
an
right, what's your
intellectual
question? Let's see if
conversation.
it's some, let's see.
No,
Let's,
I don't have a
oh, you
question.
don't?
Let's just say like we had a topic we wanted to talk about. They're like, do men, consider marriage as important, than a woman? Or do men nowadays like put a lot of stock into like going for that and being married? And I'm talking about men like over the age of 35,
Oh, I'm sorry. I
whether they
can't
have kids
participate.
or not kids.
Can't participate. I'm only 21.
You shut up. I see grays
I
in
have, I
your
have,
mirror.
talking about, I have
I see
no,
grays, guys. I see grays.
I have no grades. What are you
Yeah,
talking
he's
about?
got grays over here. He's got
I do.
grays.
I got grades.
They're whites,
Mm-hmm.
silvers.
Mm-hmm. It's funny because my mustache will be all peppered. Like you'll just see the blondes in it,
Yeah.
and then you'll see the reds, and then you'll see the fucking gray. Like immediately, just
Yeah.
like, what's
Is it
up,
right?
boo?
What's up?
Just
Can
like
I
right in the
get you
middle.
some? What color hair did you have when you had hair?
When I was a baby,
Yeah.
I mean, like ash brown or blonde
Okay.
almost when I was a baby.
Yeah.
And then the older it got, then it got darker. But then I think in my 20s, it had a like the hint, like I would have blonde in my hair.
Oh, really?
Like, like I look at it and it's like you kind of see like blonde streaks, but
Mm-hmm.
then most of it was like brown, dark brown.
Mm.
So I think it's just that like I see people's pictures like when they're babies and it's like they have really, really light hair and then
Mm.
the older they get,
It gets
darker.
darker. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What about you?
I've always had dark hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, dark hair, dark eyes. Not I'm a little bit more brown than a typical Slovakian person, but
What's a Slovakian word you could teach me?
okay, let's do because you've seen my Slovakian lessons, right?
I have.
Okay, let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
We're gonna have Slovak lesson. Okay, when you say like if you were to meet someone, you would say ahoy.
Ahoy.
Yeah, ahoy.
Ahoy.
No. So people usually go there the second time they try it. It's not ahoy like a pirate. It's ahoy.
Ahoy.
Uh-huh. And then you'd say ako samash. Ako sa
Ako samash.
samash. So 3 words. Ako samash.
Ako samash.
That means how are you?
Ahoy. Ako alaram puta.
Puta.
Hold on. That's not Slovakian. That's Salvadorian. Hold on.
Dopichi.
Hold on.
That means like
Dopichi?
yeah. Dopichi.
Dopichi. Is that a bad word?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's really bad.
Really bad?
Yeah.
Should I Google it
Yeah,
before I put it
maybe.
live?
We could try it.
Before- ahoy. What's the other part?
Ako samash. Ako samash.
That's so easy.
Ahoy.
Ahoy. Ako. Hold on. Dang it.
Ahoy.
Uh-huh. Ako.
Ahoy. Ako samash.
Ahoy. Ako samash. No.
Ahoy. Ako samash.
Ako. Ako.
Ako, A-K-O,
Ako.
S-A,
Samash.
mash.
Damn it.
Ako samash.
Ahoy. Ako samash.
Yeah.
Ahoy. Ako
Ako hama.
Ako hamach. No, hold on.
Ako samash.
Akoha.
No.
No.
Ako sa.
I'm getting red. Because I can't.
Ako samash. Ako samash. So 3 words.
Ahoy.
Yeah.
Ako samash.
Yeah, good job. Great. 10 out of 10.
I know Slovakian.
Yeah, ahoy, ako samash. Then you say dobre rano.
Dobre rano.
It's good morning.
Dobre rano.
Uh-huh. So dobre is good. So you could say dobrý deň is good day. Dobru noc. So the ending always changes. Okay, so dobre rano.
Dobre rano.
Dobrý deň.
Dobrý deň.
Kind of. Okay, and then dobru noc.
I like that one.
Dobru noc.
Dobru noc.
Dobru noc is good night.
Dobru noc. What's up? Yeah, see, Dobru noc. Like when I'm at the club, like Dobru noc.
Yeah.
Ahoy. Ahoy, Dobru noc. See? There you go. What's up? Holla at your boy. I'll see you at Denny's.
Do it again. Do a whole bit like if you're at the club.
Oh, hold on. Because it has to be Slovakian music. Ahoy. Damn it.
Dobru noc.
Dobru noc.
Okay, music's back on.
Dobru noc. Ahoy. No, it's back. Ahoy. Dobru noc.
Oh, good night to you
Yeah.
too.
How you doing? Yeah, see, it's
Yeah.
I think languages, man, it's cool because every language, like like the ones that you're saying right now, like the
The
good
worst.
morning and things like that. Um, it's like it's not like partial English, but it's
Mm-hmm.
like I can understand in English, and because I understand Spanish, then I can
Mm-hmm.
also understand it. Um, kind of like with Portuguese,
Mm-hmm.
or with certain languages, like, ooh, I know where that
Mm-hmm.
word. I think I know what you're trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's really cool, man. Dobru noc. Did I say right?
Mm-hmm.
No. Oh shit. Dobru
Dobru
noc.
nuts.
Dobru
Yeah,
noc.
and
I like
then
that word.
Dobru
Dobru
nuts.
noc.
Dobru nuts.
Dobru noc.
Eh,
What's your
well,
nationality?
Czechoslovakian.
Okay.
Yeah, I was born there.
The Czech Republic or
Slovakia.
Slovakia?
Yeah.
It's called Slovakia?
Mm-hmm. Slovak Republic. Well, it says
Czechoslovakia?
Slovakia. Yeah. It used to be Czechoslovakia before 1993,
Uh-huh.
and then they split up.
And then it's Slovakia?
Mm-hmm.
So you were born
And
in the
then
Slovakian side.
yeah, Slovakian side.
Dobru noc.
Dobru nuts.
Oh yeah. It is Dobru noc almost.
Yeah, Dobru nuts. It is good night. It is good.
No, I mean it's how would you say like night?
Nuts.
Nots?
Mm-hmm.
Like Nots?
Nuts. I think it's Noz.
Nots.
You know, I'm not
Nots.
sure.
Dobru noc.
Dobru nuts.
Dobru noc.
These nuts.
Yeah. Like, wait, what are you saying, George?
Yeah. Dobru nuts.
Yeah, go up to a girl, be like, Dobru noc. She's like,
I
what?
think it's I think it's either that or it's I don't know how they spell it, to be honest
Were you
with
born
you.
there?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. How old are you when you
Yeah.
came here?
I was 3.
Okay.
Yeah, we escaped.
Mm.
Yeah.
Was it a civil war? Or what was it?
Well, my dad just was upset with the government.
But what do you mean you escaped then?
It
People
was a
couldn't live
social
there?
it was a socialistic country.
Okay. Help me understand. I'm completely
To be
ignorant.
honest with you, I have no clue.
Okay.
We'll just go with that
Yeah, I
because
got
I
you.
don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? My dad doesn't like to be in control. I mean, doesn't like to get controlled.
Mm,
So he wanted freedom. He felt like the American life was better,
yeah. Where did you
which
arrive?
New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah, New York. And then we stayed in Florida and Fort Lauderdale till I was about 12. And then we moved to Temecula.
That's a
And
move.
then I went to grade school in Temecula, middle school and high school, graduated in Temecula. And then I moved to LA. And then it's been up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah. About everywhere I've been.
Did like your whole family come, or just like
No,
your
just
immediate
my
family?
mom, my dad, me, and my brother. So we're the only
Excuse me.
ones out here.
And then the rest of the family's still out there?
Yeah.
I came here when I was 5,
From
right?
where?
From El Salvador.
Okay.
And it was the same thing, right? Like running away, escaping.
Mm-hmm.
Um for us it wasn't like a socialist government, it was a civil war.
Yeah.
And so it was I was old enough to remember tanks up, going up and down the street.
What?
Yeah, I remember I always hung out with older kids. Like I've always been the little squinkle or the dumb little kid running around with the older kids, right? And I remember because kids would get put into the either the military or the guerrilla,
Mm-hmm.
and they would get picked up. And so
Oh
the
my
kids,
goodness.
yeah, they'd be like, run.
Oh,
And we'd run. They're not going to pick me up. My mom would always tell me, like, now that I'm older, she's like, dude, you were 5. They're not going to get you. I'm like, well, they were chasing my friends.
yeah.
In my mind, that stuck,
Yeah.
you
Like you were
know?
being chased. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I remember a vivid memory is our neighbor had a little liquor store inside their house.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
And I remember my mom running, me running behind her, her
Mm-hmm.
carrying Diego, which you
Mm-hmm.
met.
Yeah.
So she's carrying Diego. She's running with Miguel, Mike, my other brother, holding his
Uh-huh.
hand. And then I'm running after them. And then you just see the gunshots, like boom,
And
boom, boom, like in the
you
middle of
were,
the
how old
street
were you?
at night.
5?
5.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I remember. And so, like, when people tell me, like,
Mm-hmm.
they came from like another country or a different situation, it's like we grew up different. We experienced different, and there's a different, or maybe not a different level, but to me it is a different level of appreciation of actually getting to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm cool. I like the United States. I love the
Yeah.
United States. I
Mm-hmm.
consider myself American. Like, I've been here my whole
Mm-hmm.
life. Um, like it's different, man. Other countries are just different. Like,
Yeah, for
way
sure.
different.
Very different.
So I feel very lucky. And so we ended up in Reseda,
Mm-hmm. Where is
um,
Reseda?
the valley, like the
Oh, okay.
405,
Mm-hmm.
405 and the 101.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so Reseda, Canoga Park. We also went to Southgate. We were in Southgate for a while. And then we ended up over here, like in Rancho and then Fontana.
Mm.
And then I basically grew up here my whole life in the IE after being out in those areas. And then once I spread my wings, then I was in LA, I was by Santa Monica, I was by the beach or La
Mm-hmm.
Cañada, Glendale,
Mm-hmm.
downtown. So it's like I've been around the SoCal area,
Yeah.
and I enjoy it. I like it. I like the fact that we can go to the beach. We can leave right now.
Yeah.
You and I can go to the beach right
Yeah.
now
We could go to the snow.
and spend an hour in the beach, and we can actually go to the snow right after.
We could.
Hmm.
And
And then we
that's
can go to the
why,
desert.
yeah, we can go to the desert. Absolutely.
Like, even with, I don't know how much daylight there is outside, but it looks
And
light still.
no, I don't. Well, maybe a little.
Hmm.
But, and that's why it's so expensive over here,
It
right?
is, dude. It
But
is.
it's so nice. Do you
Yeah.
ever take advantage of that? Have you ever done that? Go to the beach, go to the mountains, and then go to the desert?
Hell no. I know I could if I wanted to.
Yeah,
What I have
right.
done is, um, let's say, I think beach and mountains, yes. But beach, mountains, and then drive up to the high desert, no.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
What do you prefer? Desert, mountains, or beach?
Gosh, it's a, I'd say beach, but I also love the mountains so much. I
Yeah.
love the fresh air, but then I love the ocean. You know what I mean?
If you can live in one place, where would you live?
I would live
Beach,
in La Jolla.
beach.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I'd also have a second home in Big Bear. Don't play. I did put all this in my mind already.
Did you? You
Yeah,
wrote
I'm
it
like
down?
I want to live in La Jolla and then I want a second home in the mountains.
So how we're gonna record if you're in La Jolla? You're gonna come up here to see me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Um, so how do you accomplish goals? Like, are you a person that sets goals, or what like how do you?
How do I accomplish goals? That's a really hard question because I feel like that's like procrastination is my enemy. I hate it, but for some reason it sticks to me. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to accomplish goals when you suffer from so much anxiety because I get anxious over everything. The fear of failure, which, that's a fear-based thinking, right? So there's that in the fear of the unknown. That's another thing. So let's just say we'll start with an
What would you like
example.
to know?
What? So let's just say you're going to start a business, right? And you and someone like me, I could do research and I could put it all together. I'm a techie person. I could design a website and do all that and come up with the marketing and all that. But then when it actually comes down to getting to the part of actually, you know, initiating everything or like pulling the trigger, it's kind of like where I get scared of pulling the trigger on things. You know what I mean? Like I've got this great idea. I've got all the tools I need. I know where to buy this. I know how to do this. But then it's like what can you do to get past that stopping point right there?
Um, the thing about me, for example,
Mhm.
is I'm built that way
Built what way?
to just kick down the door.
Just kick down the door?
Yeah. It's I grew up with two very different parents. One of them is very conservative,
Mhm.
and then one of them's a cuckoo.
A cuckoo?
So the cuckoo's the entrepreneur,
Mhm.
and the conservative one is, let's say, the 9 to 5, right? And so the older I've gotten, the more I realize that, again, I got to be able to take from both and learn from
Mhm.
both because
Absolutely.
both are fantastic.
Mhm.
But
Well,
it
you
is
just said one's cuckoo.
my mom's cuckoo. My mom's fuck.
I
It's funny. She told me, she's like, don't, because we were doing it live
yeah.
together. She's like, don't say I'm crazy. And
Don't say I'm cuckoo.
yeah. I'm like, Mom, but you're crazy. She goes, yes. She goes, but I understand what you mean. People don't, and they're going to think you're disrespecting me. And I said, I don't give a fuck what people think.
Right.
And then it's funny because in the live, people are like, that's so disrespectful. That's so
Yeah.
disrespectful. Yes, but you're in Mexico.
Yeah.
Meaning in Mexico,
The
that's
meaning is different.
very different.
Absolutely.
I'm
Yeah.
Salvadorian, very different
Yeah,
meaning.
as you say, like, esta loca, like, you're so
Yeah,
crazy. Like, you don't mean it like you're delusional, mentally unstable crazy. We're just saying, like, you're so crazy. Like,
yeah. You're so crazy,
you're
Mom.
so crazy, mom. Yeah, I had a friend get offended by that once.
Really?
She's from she was Cambodian, and then she also lived in the US, but she kind of grew up in Canada. And I would say, "Oh my gosh, you're so crazy." And she would get butthurt and she was like, "Don't call me crazy." And I was just like, "Oh, it's just a funny term." And she took it really seriously once.
Yeah,
And I was like, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you." Like, but here, like, but here in the United States, when you say like you're so crazy, like we don't mean it like you're
yeah.
a lunatic. Like, if I wanted to say you're crazy, I'd be like, you're so fucking crazy. Like,
Tone.
you're, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like, so it's definitely a cultural thing.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, and my mom's cool about it.
Yeah.
So like I grew up with those two different
Mm-hmm.
personalities. Like my mom will swim with you in the ocean. She'll be
Yeah.
like, "Fuck it, let's go," and she'll get in
Yeah.
the water, and my dad will be the one, "Hey, come back!"
Mm.
Like, no. And so
So who's the more conservative one?
my dad,
Okay.
yeah,
So your dad's the 9 to 5, you said, and
yeah,
your mom's the entrepreneur.
100%.
Wow.
And
Okay.
so the entrepreneur is someone who let's say doesn't have that many inhibitions.
Mm-hmm.
It's the person that acts first, plans later.
Mm-hmm.
And then my dad is the guy that gets stuck in the planning. My
Mm-hmm.
dad is the guy that does the charts, that says
Yeah.
like, let's figure this out, and
That's
if we
me.
go here and if we go
But
like
I'm not conservative though.
right,
I've got a good mix.
of both.
Yeah.
So that's the part. It's
Yeah.
being able to execute on both. And sometimes you have to be the cuckoo mama, and sometimes you have to be the pragmatic dad.
Yeah.
Because the older I've gotten, the more conservative I feel that a lot of my views have become.
Mm-hmm.
To be like,
Yeah.
I know what my dad was saying now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I feel like I've gotten more conservative over time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then
Yeah,
again,
you're very
like,
conservative right now.
what? I'm
Very
very
conservative
conservative.
right now.
But I think you can be conservative in one area and then be liberal in another
Oh yeah.
area. You know what I mean? Like, you don't
Yeah.
necessarily have to identify as conservative, liberal, or whatever, and not just politically speaking. I mean, just in general.
Yeah.
So I feel like I have a good mix of both. But what I do like is having a conversation with someone who has opposing views, but also being able to be like, oh, I understand where you're coming from now, like that's really interesting. Okay. And then you kind of get on the same page in
You want to
essence. You
argue
know
or
what I
what?
mean? You want to argue? Let's argue.
I'm good at arguing.
I'm good at it.
Um, I think it's nice to know people. I know this sounds corny, but um, people are interesting, man.
Oh, yeah. I love people. Do you like to people watch?
Dude, I have. You know what
Oh,
I do when I people watch?
what?
I told this to my mom. We went to the movies, and the
Yeah.
movie sucked. And we're sitting outside, and there was a guy walking. Oh, mom, look at that guy. She's like, okay. Like, what are we looking at?
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you think he sees? She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I do that often. Like, as someone walks by, I imagine their eyesight and
Oh,
where
what they see.
what
Oh,
they
that's
s-
really
what they
interesting.
see. And then the second thing, it's like, so there was a gentleman walking, like let's say this way,
Mm-hmm.
and their family walking this way, and we were at the mall, so
Mhm.
obviously you can imagine there's a lot of people. And then what I told her is, you know, picture his what he can actually literally see. And then the second thing is what he's actually going through versus this other couple, their young kids walking by, where they're at in their lives versus another person walking in this direction or versus the people in the car versus the people at work.
Yeah.
Everybody's in a different world
Mhm.
if you look at it that way.
Yeah.
It's a completely different world, kind of like when we're in our cars. Like if they were
Mhm.
to I've thought about this before where if we're on the freeway and they just cut off one section versus the other
Mhm.
section and then pull everybody out of their cars and then ask them, what do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? You're going to get all walks of life, all kinds of income, death, birth,
Yeah.
marriage. Everybody's going through something completely different. So like I
Mhm.
have all these mental things that happen all the time. Um, and I love hearing and learning from people
Mhm.
and everybody's different and it
Yeah.
doesn't we all don't need to be the same.
Absolutely not. No.
Like, some girls like a certain kind of guy and
Right.
then other girls like a different kind of guy
Yeah.
and both of them are fine.
Right.
Like
Mhm.
that's your preference. It's like me saying no, everybody should like blue. No, some people like red. There's nothing wrong with red.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not everybody's a dog person. Some people like
Yeah.
cats.
What are
There's
you?
preference. Dogs. I
Dogs
hate
for sure.
cats.
Yeah.
I said that once on a TikTok live. Oh my
You
god.
got in trouble. I That's why I didn't want to say when you said I hate cats. I was like, I'm gonna stay quiet because I'm gonna get.
uh, People are like, "You're such a jerk." I'm like, I don't. Cats are just again preference.
They're definitely easier from what I've heard. I
Yeah.
used to have a cat back in the day when I was a kid. It was an outdoor cat.
Hmm.
In this one time,
Garfield.
huh?
Garfield.
No, white cat with blue eyes. And this one time, she had kittens, and I wanted to keep one of the kittens because some of the kittens she had didn't have like light colored, fur with light eyes, and she finally had one. And so I was like, Mom, I want to keep this one. And I come home from school one day, and she's crying. My mom's crying, and she's like, I need to tell you something. And I'm like, what? She goes, I accidentally ran over the kitten. And I was like, oh. I think my mom was more devastated than me
Yeah.
because she made sure the kittens were in there in the little box that they were in, and I guess she somehow had crawled out. And my mom ran her over. Oh my gosh, it was so horrible.
Dude, my brother had to take one of his pugs. I think he got bit, completely crushed here. And again, my brother's like not this brother, the other brother. He's a tough guy.
Hmm.
It's like a guy's guy. He works in a ranch. Well, I'm saying he's a guy's guy, and then he designs clothes. So,
You what? He's a
and
guy's
then
getting what?
and then he designs clothes.
Oh, okay.
Right. So he works at the ranch. He's just that guy, right?
Hmm.
And he's just crying about his little dog that just got
Oh,
completely crushed.
yeah.
Now he has a dog named Paco. Pac was crazy, but I see, the videos of him and Pac when he actually came to my house on Saturday.
Hmm.
It's like a cattle dog, like an Australian cattle dog.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, we grew up with dogs, not cats. Um, so going back to your point, as far as like, how do you overcome that?
Hmm.
I think what I've heard is you're never going to give a child a task that they can never accomplish.
Hmm.
You're going to give a child a task that is hard for them to accomplish,
Hmm.
but something that they can actually accomplish. And so the same thing I think goes in business where you have a BHAG, big,
Hmm.
hairy, audacious goal, fucking way up here. But then you also need to have small, little, achievable goals
Hmm.
that give you momentum to move forward in the right direction. And so if you have a plan, if you have something that um, you think you want to work on, it's like,
Hmm.
okay, we'll break it down. So you
Hmm.
want to make 100,000 a year. How many hours do you want to work? Right.
Got it. Yeah.
And then you start breaking it down into chunks. And I think that helps alleviate the anxiety
Hmm.
because the anxiety is the fear of the unknown, fear of the future versus depression. Depression is you're living in the past. You're living in regret.
But you can have both,
You can't have both.
and that's terrible.
Right.
Hmm.
It's what they say, live in the present,
Yeah.
right? Which is extremely difficult.
Hmm.
Just you and I are talking now, there's so many things that are probably going through your head
Mm-hmm.
or my head of things that we maybe need to do later, or things
Mm-hmm.
that, shit, I shouldn't have said that like earlier this morning. But it's like, are we present with each other?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Years ago, my parents would took us to. Have you ever heard of Gnosticism? Gnostics.
No.
So I have no idea if it's a cult or what it is.
Agnostics?
Gnostic, not agnostic.
Okay.
Gnostics.
Mm-hmm. How do you spell it?
No idea. Um, but it was this thing where it was like, be present.
Mm-hmm.
Ask yourself as many times as you need to, where am I? Who am I? What am I doing? Where am I? Who am I? What am I doing? It's just like, be present in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Don't live in the future. Don't think about what I need to do an hour from now.
Yeah.
Think about you and I in this moment. And don't live in the past,
Mm-hmm.
2 hours ago, the qualification that I was doing.
Yeah.
That allows you to live your best moment, your best life. And
Mm-hmm.
so that was taught to me very, very early on in my life. Like, I want to say I was early teens, maybe. And then my uncle taught me meditation. He would
Mm.
tell me, like, look at this black dot. And then he would just say, just look at it. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? He's like, just look at it. I'm like, but what am I supposed to do? He said, just look at it. And so I've been introduced to so much as a child, I
Mm-hmm.
think. And so I think for people, it's tough if you don't take the time to want to improve those things.
Mm-hmm.
There's a way to improve it. There's always ways. And some techniques work better for some versus others.
Mm-hmm.
You're successful in your business. You've been doing it for a long time. You've learned to manage emotion on a transaction, but you had to learn that,
Mm-hmm.
right? You had to learn how to be naturally, like, expose yourself. Well, not expose yourself, but expose that side of your
George, this is
personality.
not that kind of show. Okay.
Uh, um, but expose that side of you on your lives,
Mm-hmm.
and be that character that's in you, but that's not always out there.
Mm-hmm.
But you learn that. And so I think the same thing again to, like, the being the entrepreneur, or being the, yeah, I guess, entrepreneur that we are, because at the end of the day, you're self-employed,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? So if you don't want to get up, you don't have to get up, right?
Right.
You don't want to do your hair, you don't have to do your hair.
Absolutely. I have some of those days, but that's the beauty of it. You have to
How do you
enjoy
motivate
that.
yourself?
How do I motivate myself? Mm. Music motivates me.
Mm.
I love music since I've been little. I used to play the piano and I just was in love with music. I don't know, maybe my parents listened to a lot of music when I was in my mom's belly. I'm not sure. But yeah, I've always been in love with music. So a good song will motivate me. You know what I mean?
Is that
A
how you
lot
start
of
your
a
mornings?
lot of things I always have music on. No, usually mornings, I find motivation in the little things, to be honest with you. So, like, I'm motivated at the fact that I know tomorrow morning I'm going to have a nice hot cup of coffee. Like, that motivates me to get up. Like, I love my coffee every morning. I look forward to my
How do
coffee.
you drink your coffee?
I like my coffee with a little bit of cream and stevia.
Who is stevia?
Stevia?
Yes.
Stevia rebiana? It's a leaf, a sweetener made from a plant.
Oh,
You know what stevia
I have
is?
no idea what stevia is.
Yeah, so you know artificial sweeteners, right? Well,
Mm-hmm.
it's technically an artificial sweetener, but it's made out of a plant.
Okay.
Yeah, stevia rebiana. So yeah, typically the one in the green packets, they're color coded, like white's sugar, pink is sweet and low, blue is equal, yellow is Splenda, and green is stevia, and brown is like the brown sugar.
Okay. I drink my coffee black.
You
So
do?
yeah,
Okay.
I drink my coffee black. I mean, sometimes I'll drink something with a little bit of sugar, but I mean, no, it's rare. It's
I
rare.
can't do black coffee. I find it to be really bitter.
It's like beer.
I can't do beer either.
Or like any liquor.
Yeah.
It tastes like, oh, wait. Okay, hold on. Let me have a little bit more of it.
Yeah. But I won't do like if I have to do a shot, like I'll do it, but only if they're like, "Oh, let's have a shot," but I won't just take shots. Like I can't just taste liquor like that.
Have you ever had coffee crusted steak?
No, but that sounds really good. Yeah, is
Mm-hmm.
it?
Yeah, so I where I've tried it has
Mhm.
been Hawaiian restaurants.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
like spicy coffee for some reason. And
Really?
so like if you get like a black peppered steak, it's like really
Mhm.
heavy, right?
Right.
So but this kind of like it tastes like pepper, but then it has a hint of like coffee. And it's
Really?
yeah,
Interesting.
it's really good.
Wow, okay.
Yeah,
So it's a Hawaiian thing.
I guess I tried it at a Hawaiian restaurant once, so maybe
Seems
it
like it
is.
would be.
So so your mornings are motivated by music and coffee.
Coffee. Yes.
Do you have a morning routine?
I will use I like to the night before I like to write down my to-do list in my
Okay,
tablet. So I use my tablet for all my notes and shit.
you're good. It's not like we're live.
I know, right? Exactly. And even
Yeah.
if we were, um, I use my tablet for all my notes.
Hmm.
And so the night before I like to prepare myself because in the morning I'm dealing with brain fog. I'm dealing with allergies, and things that are like, depends on how I sleep. I sleep poorly. I'm not a very good sleeper.
Depends on what side you sleep on.
Yeah. And so I wake up. So because of that little lag time, I don't want to deal with half my morning being taken up by brain fog. So when I look at that list, I know I wrote down that list when I wasn't tired. You know what I mean? I do it the night before. So I like to do that. So then I get up, I do my coffee routine, I shower, get ready, and then I look over my notes and I've already prioritized the night before what's going to come first. So on my to-do list, on my daily planner, I have like urgent tasks, callbacks, and to-dos. So I put that, I notate those things throughout the day as well if I get a call and I need to call someone back. So I try to stay as organized as possible. Um, every day, but that's usually my morning routine. But you know what? Like I really legitimately need like a better morning routine because like I would like to incorporate like, like my skincare. I would like to incorporate like my prayers, my devotionals, my maybe a workout in there. And I feel like I'm just so sluggish in the morning. Like I need my
Couple
coffee.
squats.
Couple squats, yeah. Do some squats in the morning. Yeah, but you know what? I'm not a morning person. I'll wake up in the morning, like, because if I have to, but I'm not like, don't catch me in the morning, like I could be, you know, kind of cranky. I'm a quiet person in the morning, though.
Are you?
Yeah, like I generally like really quiet.
So maybe we should have a morning podcast.
Just more so on like the calmer side,
Yeah.
At night, I'm more lively.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a bit of both. I can't
Yeah.
sleep. I can't sleep in. It's an automatic clock. You know what I mean? Like I'm just gonna wake up right away. You good?
Yeah, I just feel like I look like a giant in this chair.
I mean, you're tall.
I know you say that, but I'm not that tall. With my heels, I am, right? But I'm like 5'6"
Yeah,
and
those are
three
nice shoes.
quarters. Thank you.
Yeah. So I think like in the morning, I just I can't sleep in. I can't. It's so. I wish I could have those days when I was maybe like in middle school or
Yeah,
high
and you
school
would
where
sleep
like I would
in.
sleep in. Like I can't. I
What's your
just
definition though of sleeping in? Like, what time is your
five
normal wake
o'clock in the
up time?
morning,
Oh, fuck that shit.
5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Monday
Just
through
up and
Monday,
about
just up. Now, mind
naturally.
you, naturally,
Wow,
mind you, I'm slow to wake up.
gotcha.
Right, so it's not like, hey world. It's
Yeah,
more or less like, oh shit, I woke up already. Like last night I went to sleep at 1 and I was up at 5. And it's just like, okay, let me try to go to sleep for a little bit. So I'll just lay there.
yeah, but you won't be able to go back to sleep.
I won't be able to go back to sleep.
Yeah,
And so the other part is naturally energy at this
Mm-hmm.
hour.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know. I don't even know if I have the right time on this one. What time is it? What time's your pumpkin ride pick you up? Like before you turn into a
Six
pumpkin?
thirty, 6:34.
Oh, it's early.
Pumpkin, what is it? The pumpkin doesn't
You
show
turn
up
into a
till,
pumpkin.
I think it
Midnight?
shows up at 9. When
It
does the
doesn't?
pumpkin come?
I have no idea. What's
Isn't
your
that in the
curfew?
movie? I
Isn't it
don't have a
midnight?
boy. I'm 38 years old. I ain't got no curfew.
Right. So, I used to stay. My mom would tell me when I first started in this business. She would say, "Hey, call me from the office. I don't believe you're at work.
Oh,
I know you're
really?
out being a little hoe."
She
Um,
would say that? You're being a little hoe? How do you
no,
say that in Spanish?
andas de puto.
Oh, I thought puto was bitch.
No, well, puto's hoe or bitch. I mean,
Oh,
it's like,
really?
yeah. And then also too that I'm Salvadorian versus
Yeah.
Mexican.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. So Spanish is different.
Oh yeah.
Some words are.
hmm So then I would call her from the office. Um, and she's like, "Oh, okay, you are at work," and I was at work like at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. And this is when I was
Oh,
like super young, man. I've been in this business for 21 years.
damn.
Um, and yeah, it's like in the morning I just can't sleep, and then at night energy comes out. Um, but I think a morning routine. I was talking to someone yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
The process that you go through of writing things down, I think, is super significant because you're not reacting to your day.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know what your day is.
Yeah.
And I think that that's where a lot of people struggle because they wake up the following morning and they're bombarded with emails.
Yeah.
They're bombarded with the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're reacting
Mm-hmm.
versus, no, I control my day. I
Mm-hmm.
control my time. I control what do I need to do. And then throughout the day, you're writing the assigned task of the people that you actually still need to connect with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it feels good to be able to scratch things off a list.
That's how I do it. I have this thing that I that I do. Like I have a highlighter obviously on the tablet and I color code everything. Making time for that to be checking my emails. I have my quiet time is when I'm drinking my coffee. It's my quiet time, no phone calls. So like the first hour I'm getting into my day. I'm, you know, I'm thinking about things. I'm reflecting, I'm reading through my emails and adding tasks because sometimes you get an email in the morning on a loan and all of a sudden you have to solve a problem.
Yeah.
Well, is that going to come before any of these tasks? Yes or no? And then you fit those in accordingly so that, my emails are constantly being answered. I learned that in one of my first jobs in mortgages to always respond to emails, every single email. And then I file those emails away. And then I color code them as well. like, like a check mark is like, I've done this, but I still want to keep an eye on it. Question mark is like, what the fuck? How come they haven't answered me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those like in
Yeah.
Gmail, we have a Google Mail based, email
Mhm.
service for the company. And so I do those things because in my mind, that's just how I put everything together.
See, the funny thing is, you're saying a lot of things that, for me, right? It's not a wrong thing. Where others I know, it's like, that's not how I do it. That's okay. That's what works for you, Dick.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, that's what bothers me sometimes about people. It's like, I genuinely enjoy hearing people's process
Mm-hmm.
because people work differently. We're different personalities,
Yeah,
we've different
absolutely.
upbringings, different family dynamics, or whatever the hell's going on in our lives. It's like you got to figure out what works best for you.
Yeah.
And I think not often, whether it's in our industry or any other industry, people are not necessarily just taking the time to figure out themselves. It's like you have to figure it out for yourself. You're going to try, you're going to fail, um, but try, and then you'll figure it out. Because
Mm-hmm.
otherwise, you won't. Like the system that you're telling me about, the
Yeah.
color coordinating your emails. It's funny to me because I have my corporate office will be like, George, this guy in IT, he's like, George, what the fuck? I'm like, what? He's like, you have emails in here from years ago. filed.
Unanswered? Filed? Oh,
No, no, no,
filed.
no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah.
Filed.
Yeah.
So I will create folders, right? So I have
Yes.
my lead folder,
Mm-hmm.
pre-approval folder, and then I will have, current
Mm-hmm.
escrow folders, agent folders, a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of things.
Yep.
And obviously, an email gets full.
Yeah.
So they have to create different archives
Mm-hmm.
within the intranet or within my computer or a
Mm-hmm.
server. But then I have had to, someone will say, like, hey, do you remember this? It's like, no.
You search it
Click,
up.
click, click. Here it is.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I mean, I do it for a reason,
Yeah.
but then also on my inbox, I delete every email.
Really?
Like if it doesn't go in a folder, right?
It's
Like if it's
deleted.
it's deleted.
I have a miscellaneous folder.
I'm like, hell no. I'm like, I need to be able to go through just the last 30 days if I see it, and then
Mm-hmm.
everything else is deleted, and then it's filed away. It's how I work files like let's say client files, for example, like if I
Mm-hmm.
have folders or personal information, it's like the little chart going down, going down the little
Mm-hmm.
rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
That helps my organization.
Yeah.
But what you do also helps.
Well, I do both.
Okay.
I color code the ones I'm not going to put away yet because those are the ones I still need to work on. I can't file them away yet.
I put the red flag
Yeah,
in it.
that's what I'm saying.
Hey.
Color coding. I
Hmm.
put a flag and but you can choose extra. Like if you go into your settings, you can have multiple
I can
colored
have
stars.
multiple color
Yeah.
flags.
No, stars,
Oh,
question, like all these other ones you can implement. So I have my mind knows, okay, this one is for that, this one is for that. And so then once I'm done with it though, I file it away.
okay.
Okay, now if it's something that I really won't see myself ever needing, I'll delete it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
let's just say it's like an advertisement or something from a wholesale lender that you're getting and you're like, "Oh, they send the same thing every day. I'm just going to delete it," right? Like you keep sending me that you do 90% bank statement only loans every day, but you don't even put your guidelines in the email. I mean, what is that?
Do you think emails work for your business? Like for either, well, two areas.
Absolutely.
Well,
Okay.
hold on. Advertising emails to your agents and advertising emails to your clients. Do they work?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I've noticed they work. We have a CRM system, so our clients are getting updates every time the loan process changes, as well as the listing agent, the buyer's agent. We connect right what loan belongs to them in our portal. Then get those emails, but more so, they really appreciate the in betweens. I get calls, oh my gosh, thank you so much. You remembered my birthday. I'm like, oh, you're welcome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I'll get a response to my email, right? The auto email goes to them, but when they respond, it goes to my email box. So like, thank you for thinking of me on my birthday. And I'm thinking, like, well, I kind of wasn't because I didn't know it was your birthday, but my system did. Which
Well,
you know what? You know what I mean? Because they do like it. They like that they're getting that. And obviously we're paying for the service and we're implementing that for that reason. We want them to feel special on those days. So it's not like I'm half-assing it and I don't care because I do, but it's almost impossible to keep track of everyone's birthdays. But what I think I am going to start doing and implementing is that our CRM gives us a notification like every month of birthdays that are upcoming. So I can go in there and actually send them a signed birthday card or call them on their birthday and talk to them. I think there's so many opportunities you have with the CRM that I can also implement to better my business. But what was the whole point of me? Oh, emails. Yeah. Realtors love the emails. They really do. We do weekly market update emails, and obviously we're reaching out to them, during all the holidays, the time change reminders, they like all that. So they enjoy, yeah, I think it goes a long way.
it's funny you say that because we get those email responses as well from people on their
Mm-hmm.
birthday. Um, the phone calls obviously help, so we'll
Mm-hmm.
call them on their birthday, we text them on their birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the thing that I would say that helps, especially if you have realtor partners,
Mm-hmm.
which obviously I know that you do,
Mm-hmm.
is when you tell them, hey, by the way, today's John's birthday. Because
Right. If you close it.
realtors
Mm-hmm.
are horrible the majority of the
Mm-hmm.
times at managing a database. Most of them don't even have a database.
I've noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah, most of them don't. And, as loan officers, we get the opportunity to help more families.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way that it is.
Right.
So we do, I would say, quite a bit more transactions than agents
Yeah, because we're also doing refinance loans, maybe
or
not as many right now.
HELOCs or
Yeah.
there,
Reverse
there's
mortgages.
there's different stuff that we
Mm-hmm.
can do. And so we really do have to manage. We really do have to manage the database. And I think that part of what differentiates them working with the bank versus working with you
Mm-hmm.
is when you do find out those important things in their life, like their birthdays or their anniversaries, and hey, like she remembered this.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't I don't think people imagine, like, for example, the dentist will send a card, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people imagine like, oh my god, my dentist sat down and they sent this. We know what the dentist pays.
Right, right, right.
Clients know that it's our
Mm-hmm.
system that's assisting us, but they also know, and or maybe in their subconscious of some sort, that we actually took the additional steps to actually save that information,
Mm-hmm.
have that information, put a system in place to
Right.
actually make them feel special on that day. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's devalued. I think it's always a
Right.
benefit and a
Mm-hmm.
plus. But that extra component that I think helps sometimes is when you tell the agent, "Hey, remember that
Yeah.
that client?"
Mm-hmm.
And then just sending them a text, and then they actually able to reach out.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a great added tip for sure.
I'll send a text. I'm like, hey, remember this client we closed 7 years ago? Yes, it's her birthday today. Oh shit, thanks. Let me call her right now. It's an
Mm.
excuse for them to reach out.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Um, and so, what would you say right now for your new buyers? Like for your new buyers that I think are hesitant about the market. You've been in it
Mm-hmm.
long enough where you've seen changes.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Hesitant about buying?
about buying.
It's almost like you're hesitant to get married and you're in a 20-year relationship. Like there's never a better time. There's never going to be a better time to have kids, to get married, to buy a house, to do any of that. You just have to do it. I mean, if you think about it, 10 years ago, look at where the house prices are now. Do you want to risk waiting another 10 years? It's not gonna it's not gonna go down. If anything, it's the house prices are gonna go up. Maybe not as drastically, but they're gonna go up. So for you to wait and wait and wait for market to change, it's just not going to change in a place where you're ever going to be ready. There's no marker. You know what I mean? You can't just be like on this day and this time and when this. No, it's like if you find the right house, get pre-approved, find the right home, fall in love with it, you know, and then F the rate, you can refinance later. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just marry the
I
house, date the rate.
like maybe take it. What who would you use for like a? I'm not gonna put this, but who would you use for a booty call? Like, what is it? Date the rate, buy the house. Who's a booty call there? Who's a booty call? Um, and then
I hate being a once I was gonna say when I used to work as an account executive in lending, I learned this one phrase I would tell my clients. I'm like, I don't want this to be a one night stand. So go ahead and try me out one time, but I promise you you're gonna keep coming back for more. They would always catch them up, you know what I mean? Sure as shit. They would
I'm
always
like,
yeah.
yeah, I'm about to send this girl alone right now.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? Someone walked into our office and her thing was, our rates is cool, and we're like, what? That's what she would say.
Our rates is cool.
Our rates is cool.
Our rates is cool.
Our rates is cool. I'm like, yeah, all right. You gotta come up with something else.
Yeah, rates are
Um,
not cool anymore.
yeah, man. It's been I've never had a problem with an interest rate.
Hmm.
What I've had a problem with is a significant change within a short period of time, which has been drastic, which disqualifies people from buying a home.
Absolutely.
And so, rewind 4 years ago, 5 years ago,
Hmm.
rates would change, but it's a quarter here, maybe half there,
Yeah.
and it stays there for maybe a month. Cost goes up maybe a quarter. So there's
Hmm.
enough for us to be able to gauge and to maneuver, but literally from Thursday
Hmm.
last week, I priced that alone 7.25. Monday, 6%. Like,
Huge difference, right?
and then a month ago, 5.75. So 5.75, 7%,
Mm-hmm.
6%, 30-day window. And then again, what bothers me is when the bond market improves so much, like it
Mm-hmm.
has been over the last, let's say, 3 days,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's not reflected in our rate sheet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, so you assholes are obviously, and I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But you guys are going worse market as soon as the market shifts.
Yeah.
But once that market gives us that money back, you're not giving it to us.
No. It's too volatile for them.
Yeah.
They're
So
not going
again,
to
I
make
get it, but I'm just
changes.
like,
Yeah, it is frustrating. Some lenders will, but you know what? They usually follow each other.
yeah,
You know what I mean? They're kind of looking to see what someone else is going to do. So, whereas one lender will have multiple, you know, pricing changes throughout the day, another one might just have one.
yeah.
Um, yeah, it does suck for sure not to see that reflected in the rate sheets, especially when the borrower hears about it. So the buyer's hearing, hey, the rates have improved. Yes, they have, but how do you explain that to a buyer that's like the rates have improved, but yeah, but it's not reflecting in our pricing yet. Like, you know what I mean? Like it just
I Googled rates today and I Google them all the time because I'm very concerned about what our clients see.
absolutely.
7.5%.
It's still showing up higher. Yeah, I've noticed that recently.
So I do that quite often. So clients
Yeah.
will call in, they'll be like, hey, you know what? I hear rates are at 5.5. You know, we might do me a favor. Have you Googled this? Let's Google it together. And then they'll look, it's like, oh, it says 7.5. Oh, do you notice there it also says 20% down? And you
Yeah.
notice also that it says
720
780 credit
plus. Like,
score?
yeah, yeah, exactly.
And you have a
Yeah.
640 credit score, 3% down, 50% DTI.
Yeah.
So the 6.5 that you're getting,
Yeah.
be happy with it. All right.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
um, I would say that that's a tip that I would give agents, I would give lenders. It's like Google what your clients are Googling, see what pops
Yeah,
up, and be ready
absolutely.
to answer those questions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, be able to intelligently answer those questions with your opinion on that specific question, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, what went into that question,
Mm-hmm.
which is the disclaimer notice.
Right.
Did you actually read it? If you didn't,
Absolutely.
then then it's tough because then the client calls you and said, "Oh, rates are 5.5." Then you call me as a lender thinking rates are 5. It's like now I have the client
Mm-hmm.
bothering the agent, and then the agent like not like they're in cahoots, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like the agent needs to be on my side, so we're both explaining to the client as a
Yeah.
team where rates are
It's
at.
also important to have, you know, e- every real we all want every realtor's business, right? And
Yeah.
that's sometimes how I feel like we're a slave to to that side of things because it's almost like we have to ask for business or, you know, that I mean maybe some don't, but um I wish we could just bridge that gap there. You know what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying? I'm just gonna say it, like fuck it.
I just want you to say it though.
What I mean is, and I hope you
Doesn't it,
don't put the worst parts on here.
but that's the thing though. I mean,
So, so the thing is like, as loan officers, you know, you go out and you want to market to realtors and go network with them, and you want to say, hey, try me out for your next deal. Very similar to what an AE does, right? An account executive at a lender. You do the same thing, but you always feel like you're a slave to in our side of things because oh, I'm so happy they chose me, but it doesn't mean they're going to be loyal to you. They can go anywhere. So on the next transaction they could go somewhere else. You know what I mean? But it goes both ways. If I have a client, right, that needs a realtor, who am I going to go to? Someone that continuously sends me business.
it's I think it sucks the aloofness, the pompousness, the me creo la gran verga
Mhm.
that some agents have.
Mhm.
And early in my career, it was a lot of the politics to the degree of dude, obviously I've been doing it for a long time, but I've looked like a baby. So no
Mhm.
mustache,
Yeah.
no wrinkles, no gray
No gray
hairs.
hairs, no
Did you see the
wrinkles.
picture
What picture?
that I put on Instagram once? Check
Oh,
it.
of you as a Child?
Child star.
Oh my gosh, this is not you. I cannot believe this. Wow. I
So,
cannot believe that.
yeah.
You look like you're like 12 years old here. And how old were
Uh,
you here?
I have no idea. I think maybe like 19.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe 18, 19, somewhere on there.
Wow. What a change. That's so crazy.
Yeah. So like imagine this little kid
Mm-hmm.
walking into a real estate office
Yeah.
with a bunch of adults and they were all looking like me. Well,
Mm-hmm.
actually, no, were a lot older,
Uh-huh.
obviously. And then me trying to get business from them.
Mm-hmm.
I was super intimidated, man. And a lot of them were not nice.
Yeah.
They're jerks. And it's like instead of saying like, "Oh, let me see how I can," this person's trying. It was like, "Kiss my ass more," and you're a child, and
Mm-hmm.
and and so part of I think where I've struggled with, and I talked to my mom about this the other day. I said, "Look, sometimes I feel like I'm that 17-year-old kid, and I overcompensate.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I overcompensate in my seriousness. Right? I overcompensate in maybe my tone, and a lot of people don't think I look the way I look,
Mm-hmm.
or um." Especially on the phone. If I'm on the phone, you cannot tell that it's this guy.
Mm-hmm.
You assume something different. And so, um, having to really kiss ass and what is it? Shake hands and kiss
Mm-hmm.
babies.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough, and I would like it to be more of a partnership.
I wish it was too.
And you can build those
Mm-hmm.
relationships. We have those relationships. I'm sure you have them as
Yeah.
well.
But
But it
that's
shouldn't be
mm-hmm.
that way. It shouldn't be that hard. It
No.
should be like I vibe with this person. I connect with this person. They're professional. Don't ask me for referral fees.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten those asked blatant to my
Mm-hmm.
face or in a more subtle
Mm-hmm.
way. But it's like I'm not paying for business. I learned that from
Yeah.
very early on in my career. And we shouldn't feel like slaves. So like if you miss a phone call, there's that fear
Mm-hmm.
of this person's gonna get referred elsewhere.
Yeah.
But if your agent was at, I don't know, dinner with their
Mm-hmm.
spouse and
Mm-hmm.
you call to refer a client, you would say, hey, it's how do you set up? It's a transfer of trust.
Mm, absolutely.
So I'm gonna refer you, right? Hey,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna refer John Smith. He's gonna get in contact with
Mm-hmm.
you. It's someone that I've worked with for years. They're gonna take great care of you. They work with family and friends,
Mm-hmm.
and I know they're gonna get in contact with you within the next 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah, you're setting them up.
I'm setting up proper expectations. I
Absolutely.
elevated the agent.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is false.
Mm-hmm.
But what a lot of agents do is, hey, my lender's going to call you right now in the next 5 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
No, don't say
dude,
that.
you don't
No.
know my schedule.
No, that's a level of disrespect I can't do.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I wouldn't do that to anybody else. It doesn't matter whether who you are. It just the principle of the matter is that regardless of whether it's a friendship, a relationship, a business relationship, like in this aspect, you should not disrespect the other person's time because that's just disrespect of time.
Hmm.
You're promising someone you know based off someone else's time that you don't know. And so that's why sometimes we come off like feeling like slaves because now if we
Yes.
miss a call, now what? But if you do business with me and you trust me and I trust you, I would do that for you. I would set it up. Like, hey, so and so, they're gonna call you in the next 20, like you said. But if I tell them like that's not being a friend, that's not being a partner, it's not a partnership. Like you wouldn't do that to your mom, to your
Mm-mm.
brother, sister. So why are you gonna do it to me? Like in general, like you know what I mean? We're supposed to be friends,
Y-
right?
Yes. And even if we're not friends, even if we're just like you said, even if we're business partners,
But
you don't do that to a
still,
business partner.
yeah, because there's levels of friendship in a business partnership. You may not be friends like, oh, you guys are having all this fun and you're playing games, not like that. But you know what I mean? But you're still talking to each other, you're getting to know each other. It's still a relationship, right? So you have to have a level of respect there. That's something that mm, don't catch me on that. I will go off. I can't do that. I can't.
Well, the
That's
other
one
thing,
thing is disrespect gets me. Like, don't disrespect me. You know what I mean? Like, my business is just as important as yours.
it's um, it's like when they refer you to a client
Yeah.
and they say, "Hey, you know what? I referred you to a client and I gave your information to two other lenders' info."
Oh, no, no. Don't
Well,
give mine then.
no, I don't need that client. I don't need that referral, and it's not a referral.
Should we talk about true stories?
Yeah, but that's the thing, though.
Okay.
I like it's it's that's like me saying, "Hey, I referred you for a listing, but I also gave the information to three other agents."
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what, huh?
Huh?
Why?
Why would you do that?
Yeah, you're not
That's not a
brokering a
referral.
deal. You know, it's not a referral and it's not a viable deal. A
It's not
lead.
a referral.
No.
So what's your real world?
So I have a few. This one time at bank camp, there was an agent that gave us a lead and he asked us to call. Okay, that's fine. We'll call. And then we had an emergency the following morning. We had to take our daughter to the hospital. Well, anyways, in those few hours, he had referred that lead to another lending source. You know, saying like, "Oh, well, when you guys didn't reach out to her in the morning, I referred." It's like it's only been a few hours since you gave it to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's kind of like setting that up, you know, and saying, "Hey, 24, 48 hours, give them a realistic time frame," you know? And then so I just found that to be like really kind of like off-putting in a sense.
Well,
You
it
know what I
is,
mean?
man. Like, what if you're in the restroom?
But you're talking about like, you know what I mean? Like you don't know if they're on a, give them the appropriate time. A 24-hour window is a really good window.
It
That's
is.
ample time. You know what I mean? And then don't go hand like I wouldn't hand a lead to my realtor. Like let's say I had a brother that needed a realtor, or I have a brother right, that needs a realtor, and I give the realtor information, and I'm like, it's only been a few hours. Well, then I go give my brother three other realtors information. Like, do you not find that stupid? Is that
It's
stupid? Like, what other word can it be? But that's like really dumb. That's like really dumb.
it's just go work on another client, fool. Go get another client. You know what I mean? Like, what's gonna change? But I mean, obviously, yes, we want to be responsible. We want to call at the time that we said
Yeah,
we're gonna call, but life also happens, right?
absolutely.
If it is a consistent issue with your lender or your realtor that every time
Mm-hmm.
you refer someone and it, let's say a call is pre-scheduled,
Mm-hmm.
um, and they fail, well, then there's a completely separate
Mm-hmm.
issue. But I think the other part of the equation is to have realistic expectations with each other and to have a conversation about what those expectations are.
Mm-hmm.
And so, have you read High Trust?
No.
So there's a book, Todd Duncan. I want to say, yeah, it has to be Todd Duncan, and it's High Trust. So basically, it's we all have relationships, right? Family, friends. Obviously, this book specifically with real estate agents,
Mm-hmm.
but it's digging deep down inside with every realtor partner as to what their expectations are,
Mm-hmm.
the level of communications.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, if you were to provide me with the lead, how soon or what are your expectations of us to be able to connect with them?
Mm-hmm.
And then usually the answer is right away.
Mm-hmm.
So you jot it down,
Mm-hmm.
but then obviously that's how you regurgitate the answers back to them. So it's my understanding that you'd like us to get in contact with the lead immediately. But as you can see, we've shared an hour with each other right now of time.
Mm-hmm.
And during this hour, I haven't picked up my phone. So if I'm not available immediately, and if immediately is within 5 minutes and I just spent an hour like I am with you right
Mm-hmm.
now, is it fair to say that I can connect with them? So you're finding a way to help them understand you're not being logical.
Mm-hmm.
And in order for us to work together,
Mm-hmm.
these are the time frames. And if these time frames don't work, well, what does work? Do
Mm-hmm.
we find middle ground or we don't have to work together? It's that
Mm-hmm.
simple.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Um, So I think it's but it's high trust selling. It's a really good book. I'll send
Okay.
you a
High
reminder
trust
of it.
selling.
High trust selling. Todd Duncan. Um, but the second thing is if you have an existing relationship with an agent, it's revisiting that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're boyfriend and girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
I should date you,
Mm-hmm.
right? I should take you out
Mm-hmm.
for that coffee,
Mm-hmm.
steak. I should do something.
Nobody should do anything, but
Well, you should want to, like, if you're in a relationship, I don't know if the right word is should. Um, there should be, no, I'm saying should.
right.
What's the word?
If you're in a relationship, you it's normal to want to take your partner out, have a coffee or take them out to dinner or have, a meal together.
So it's, no, no, I have to say should.
Okay.
I have to
Good.
say should because if you're in business,
Yeah.
you should do certain things,
Okay.
right? And part of that is dating your realtors
Okay.
and dating them, obviously not to, yeah,
Well, George,
it's like that
you
one
don't
night
get in
stand, but
trouble right now.
but you should date them,
Yeah.
and everybody's gonna change.
So over time, you have to have that check in.
You have to,
Yeah. I think so
whether it's
too.
annual, semi-annual, figuring out where they're at in their career, their business, their
Yeah.
areas. Maybe they added a team member, maybe they're struggling with something, and you continue to rehash certain things that may be important to them, including levels of communication.
Mm-hmm.
I hate text messages
Mm-hmm.
because with the amount of emails that I receive, the amount of
Mm-hmm.
phone calls, the amount of the
Mm-hmm.
overwhelming amount of information that we receive, there's no way that I can respond to a text message, especially with the client, for most things that I can just pick up a call and get it done within, hey, I just need 2 to 3 minutes of your time.
Mm-hmm.
2 to 3 minutes of your time avoids 10, 20 text messages.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, hey, George, how much is my earnest money deposit? Hold on, let me check your contract. Let me check in with escrow. Like
Mm-hmm.
all this text messaging back and forth with,
Mm-hmm.
hey, John, you know what? Just wanted to check in. What's the question? They tell you the question. You're able to provide the
Mm-hmm.
answer. You're done. And so, how do I manage that? Well, I just don't text.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I text very seldomly
Yeah.
because as soon as you open up that text door,
The text store.
it's a text door, dude. Because they will not stop
So
texting you.
that sounds like a new girl you're dating.
The text
And
door.
once you open the text store, they will not stop texting you.
Yeah, she's horrible.
Yeah, so just pick up the phone, Devin.
Yeah, or people text me and then I pick up the phone and I call them from
Yeah.
my office or I use email. I think
Mm-hmm.
in our business, we work in a professional world,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like business and office.
Yeah.
Call your doctor at the office.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, you can email them now.
Mm-hmm.
You can email your lawyer, but your lawyer's not picking up at midnight. Your lawyer's not texting you back most
Mm-hmm.
often, unless you have a really high, you know, retainer with that lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
But we're professionals. Why
Mm-hmm.
should I be texting you at 11 o'clock at night unless you're a nurse or unless your career
Mm-hmm.
requires it? Like, just because you can't sleep at 11 o'clock at night, don't text me, fool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to decompress right now.
Yeah.
But we established those
Boundaries.
boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
just like with our agents.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Do you like texting?
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I enjoy texting because I'm a multitasker. And so I have my phone hooked up to my computer, so my texts pop up. So it actually allows me to be more focused on my work versus getting on my phone.
Mm.
So I can text from my computer. So I can text really fast, jump into my email, get back to a file. If it weren't for that, I wouldn't be texting during the day. Or if I were texting, I'd get distracted by my phone. So
Yeah.
my phone's in my bag, but it's connected to my computer. So I can make phone calls from there. I can receive phone calls. So it's all in one,
System.
yeah, which I prefer. So then I
Yeah.
still have access to it, but I'm only using it like if a client's texting me.
I disconnect all my stuff. I have
Really?
all alerts off.
During the day?
No, at forever,
Oh, all the time?
all the time.
Oh, wow.
Like no Texting comes in, no emails,
Nothing.
zero. Good dude, I am
No alerts.
no
You're
alerts.
alert free.
I am alert free.
Wow.
How do I know if something comes in? It's like I'll check my phone. Like let's say I'm not working, physically
Right.
working, but during the day, it's like I'm here in front of, my
Mm-hmm.
computer. If it's a file in escrow,
Mm-hmm.
obviously emails.
Mm-hmm.
If it's an application or an appointment, it's calling the office. Calling
Mm-hmm.
the office. The girls are booking appointments, appointment
Mm-hmm.
after appointment, whether it's agents or callbacks.
Mm-hmm.
So we run Monday through Friday strictly from my office.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they call my cell phone, then I'll normally not answer it and I'll call them from my office.
Mm.
It's like training. Like
Gotcha.
I'm
Yeah.
training people, call my office. I don't need you to call my cell phone. You can call my
Mm-hmm.
cell phone,
Mm-hmm.
but first call my office.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, dude, I don't zero alerts,
Wow.
zero alerts. On my Mac, I don't have my phone connected to it. No Instagram, no Facebook, no Twitter,
Wow.
no,
Only
no,
after hours?
no, never.
Never you What do you mean you're not on Instagram?
On it, yes, but what I'm
Oh,
saying is
you don't
alert.
getting alerts. Okay,
God,
gotcha.
no, God, no,
Well, yeah, look at all the women that you have in your DMs.
or men.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah, it's I can't.
You gotta stop dancing like that.
I gotta stop wearing the Crocs.
Yeah, the Crocs
I'm
and the
gonna buy you some
dancing.
Crocs. I think it'll go good with your outfit.
Yeah, I really want some Crocs.
Do you have Crocs?
No, but I've been wanting to get some. I've hated Crocs for the longest time. I've been anti Crocs.
Mm-hmm.
And then my little one got Crocs for her birthday recently. Say
And you wore
little,
them?
she's 13. And I tried them on to go
Yeah.
outside. I'm like, I kind of like this shit. I'm maybe a Croc kind of girl. So then I walk in front of the mirror. I'm like, I guess I could kind of rock these. Like, you know what I mean? Taking the dog out, taking the kids to school.
Imagine a saber-toothed tiger was to chase after you and you're wearing your sandals.
Would not be able to, but
If you're wearing
I don't think I could
Crocs,
run in Crocs. I would rather just take everything off and run barefoot.
dude, it has little X game
Yeah,
mode. Like you just put the little flip the
yeah, but
switch.
they're so like cloggy that they're not agile for like running.
Or maybe you have little feet
No.
and you're wearing them inside big ones.
Yeah, with I don't know. You can't really run with Crocs. Do you want to race?
Oh, man. I'll
I'll
race
get
you.
my Crocs.
You
You
get your
get your
Crocs and I wear
Crocs.
those.
No, we both have Crocs and then see what it's like to race in Crocs. You can't fit into these shoes.
God, no.
You
No.
could never.
Tiny little feet.
I do
Pink
not have
looks nice.
tiny
I was
feet
gonna compliment you earlier on the toes, but
on
I
the
didn't want it to
pink.
be creepy. I figured I could talk to this girl for 2 hours, then I'll compliment her on her toes.
Yeah, I get lots of compliments on my feet.
Uh,
I'm about to go on OnlyFans.
we should. My
Mm,
feet finder account.
yes.
You want
Do you
to
have
do
one?
what is it?
You know what my name is? D's Pretty Feet.
It's funny. There's people that comment on my feet, especially
Really?
on TikTok. Yeah,
And do with they probably the ones with the foot fetish.
it's funny because people say like, "I love your feet.
People tell me that all the time. I love your feet. I love your hands.
I
And I'm
love
like, okay.
what them hands do." Um, so they'll be like, "Can you?"
What them feet do.
Yeah, exactly. Um, what is it? They'll say, "Can I please see more feet?
More of
You
your
dancing
feet.
barefoot."
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Shut up. But you can't even see your feet from like a video. Like you can see them, but it's not up close, but they still like you dancing barefoot.
Yeah, yeah,
What?
yeah. It's like it's funny because like I've seen guys go on my lives and I could recognize some of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, hey, you're the dude with the feet," and they don't take it bad. They're like, "Oh yeah," they'll comment back like, "Yeah, I love your feet," and I'll get messages. Well, obviously messages on Instagram
About your
asking me
feet.
for the link because I fuck around that I have a link.
So
And
people actually ask you for a
oh,
link.
dude, yes.
I should start fucking around that I have a feet link.
I
And
say I
then I
have a
could
feet
on the
link all the
DL
time.
sell feet pics.
I was gonna post
With the way that rates are now, dude.
the way that rates are right now, like if I was a female,
Yeah, okay, tell me about it. With
yes,
the way
ma'am.
the market is, if you're female, okay, go on.
Slide in for the link. Um,
Slide into the DM.
I would,
It's
okay,
going down in the DM.
so feet, right?
Yeah.
No face pics, right? Maybe like from the lips down.
Okay.
Can't tell who I am.
Right.
Guys are disgusting and they will pay to see your feet. Thousands of dollars. Like, I don't get it. I probably know some of these gents.
Do you?
I'm
Because I'm
sure I
looking
do.
for specific clients. Just kidding.
I'll share the database on my phone with you.
I'm
And
kidding.
like, they're just we're men. You know, obviously like girls like, you know, certain maybe odd things or whatnot,
Yeah.
but men will pay for feet. And it's not degrading. I don't think it's degrading for you to take pictures of your feet. That's just my
No.
opinion. But I would totally do it. If I
Yeah.
was a young girl in my 20s
Yeah.
or, you know, obviously over 18, go to school, get your education,
And
get your
selfie
career,
pictures.
and take pictures of your goddamn feet, put them on the internet. And
Hey,
don't let
why
anybody
not?
find out who you are.
Dude, my girls always tell me to do it.
You-
Mom, sell pictures of your feet. Mom, why aren't you doing that? Your feet are so pretty, Mom. My own kids are telling me to sell my feet pictures.
it- So this is the thing, right? Like, I am a very open person, let's say, with, I don't mind being in my underwear. I don't mind
Yeah.
being butt ass naked,
Yeah.
right? Like, I'm not shy about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mind if there were videos of me online
Butt ass naked.
butt ass naked.
You wouldn't mind
No, I'm
right now in this stage of life you're in? You wouldn't mind.
different thing,
Okay.
right? So I wouldn't mind,
Okay.
but
But
I'm a professional
yes.
and I eat from real estate.
Right.
And that, although there's as much me saying I don't care what people think of me, there's a
Mm-hmm.
portion that regardless any place in society, we do care about what people think about
Mm-hmm.
us to the degree that you're different when you're with your parents than you are with your girls. You're different with your clients than you are with your agents. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a certain level of how do we manage society and life,
Mm-hmm.
and also a certain level of how I manage my nakedness,
Okay.
right? And so if I didn't do what I do,
Mm-hmm.
if I didn't obviously do the same thing you do,
Mm-hmm.
100% I would not have an issue having one of those accounts. It doesn't, it's just not. I remember maybe 20 years ago or 15 years ago, and I would have these conversations with a friend of mine, and I would tell him, like, dude, people could recognize my tattoos, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, but if people recognize it, then that means they're watching it.
Mm.
So you might be looked at as like the perv, but they're the pervs that are actually watching you doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And then later it was like, okay, well, maybe I could wear a mask. Maybe I could wear a mask. So I'm telling you, I've thought about this
Yeah.
extensively.
Yeah. It seems like you have.
Oh, yes. And then the other part was, I think during the pandemic, like, if I have one of these sneaky links,
Sneaky links. Wait, sneaky link. A sneaky link is like a person.
is it?
Yeah, that's how people say.
See how that's how old I am.
That's from what I know. That's what the kids taught me.
Okay, so if I had
Sneaky
a
link.
pervy link, if I had a pervy
A
link,
sneaky link is like a side piece, I heard.
is that
I
what
don't
they call me,
know.
a sneaky link?
Sneaky link is a side piece.
It's
The Sancho.
yeah, Sanchito. It's like can they screenshot it?
Mm.
Because if there's a paywall and people can't screenshot it, I'm like, maybe I'm down to do this. And I
Mm-hmm.
looked into it, like,
And what?
and
You can
there's no way
screenshot it.
to stop it.
Yeah.
There's no way to not have that go viral.
Mm-hmm.
Someone send it to someone. There's
Yeah.
there's always a way, and that's why I'm like, I can't risk that. I can't.
Absolutely.
So the feet pics, again, someone sends like, oh look, she's putting feet pics up. It's like,
Who cares?
who cares? But
You do
oh
it so
look,
you can
fucking
get.
George is naked.
Oh
Like
yeah, that's a different
that's a different
story.
story.
Yeah, for sure.
Very
Feet pics
different.
versus nakedness. Yeah,
Or
that's
maybe your
huge.
hands.
Heck
Maybe there's a
yeah.
couple handsies.
Handsies there are.
I mean, I guess.
I could be like,
Mm-hmm. Like you should pet a cat or something.
yeah,
Like pet your own hands like this.
yeah. That's so funny.
So yeah, the feet pics. It's just a different world we live in, man.
Yeah.
And we all have just even like the fact that I post myself the way that I'm dressed.
Hmm.
Like that turns people off.
Why? Because it's
Why?
not in a suit and tie.
Of course.
Who cares?
Well, apparently not
You're
me.
dressed well. You know what I mean? If your clothes are washed and you smell good, you know what I mean? Like you're you have your own style. Who cares what other people say?
Well,
Screw them.
that's the whole thing, right? So again, just in our industry, there's a certain there's a certain expectation of what we should be.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me it was when one of the biggest times was when my dad almost died from
Mm-hmm.
COVID. And I've talked about it. It's like my dad was in the
That's
hospital for a
scary.
month.
Mm-hmm.
He calls it his little vacation.
Oh, he does. He
Yeah.
still does.
Yeah. He calls it, he's like, yeah, he's like, when I took those vacations in the hospital.
That's so cute.
And I remember being quarantined in my room.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, I couldn't do math. I couldn't remember loan limits.
What? During COVID?
Yeah. It was scary to me, dude, because again, it's my livelihood.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't. And I got so panicked. I pulled out a notepad and I was trying to remember and
Mm.
I couldn't. Like my brain was like I had
Wow.
a fever. My brain was in such a fog. And I was like, okay, stop trying to figure this
Mm-hmm.
out. You're obviously not well. Put it down, watch some TV,
Mm-hmm.
figure it out later. And I did. But during that time, a lot of my family got COVID. And then it was like, I'm worrying about what other people think of me, let's say with my tattoos, always
Mm-hmm.
wanting to hide them because I might not get business and things that I haven't done in life because of what my industry might
Mm-hmm.
look at me and say, like, oh, crazy George or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
People who don't know me. And then I'm like, you know what, man? Fuck that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't pay my bills.
They don't feed you or pay your bills.
Feed you, fuck you, or pay your
No, they
bills.
don't fuck you, feed you, or pay your bills.
Fuck you, feed you, or pay your bills.
Yeah.
They don't.
So they doing what for you?
Exactly. And it was like the things that I've left undone, and there's quite a bit that I still obviously haven't done and that I
Mm-hmm.
want to accomplish, but like I should just be me. I've always
Mm-hmm.
tried to just be me.
You should. I think
But
you're doing a great job at it.
thank you.
Yeah.
That kid wasn't himself always, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And it's like, I look at him and he's wearing a tie and, parted fucking hair and I hated it.
Mm-hmm.
I did my hair that way for the goddamn picture.
Yeah.
It's like I would have a mohawk or
How did you learn how to do your hair like that? Who told you to do it like that?
it's just a fucking nerd way.
You just a nerd
It's
way.
like, how do I look like a nerd? How do I look trustworthy?
Yeah.
Go call me to the side. Like,
Yeah.
that's not who I am. Like,
Right.
I'm gonna wear, the gold or the belt buckle or the boots. Like, if you were to
Mm-hmm.
see me outside of work, like dressed spiffy,
Mm-hmm.
it's like I I want to attract attention. I
Mm-hmm.
love attention. People are like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't love it. I love attention.
Mm-hmm.
I love getting attention.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't, but
Yeah.
I generally love attention. And so like just trying to put myself out there, putting like you,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, you put yourself out there,
Mm-hmm.
which I admire.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you're comfortable in your own skin, and even if you're not,
Mm-hmm.
you still do it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if there's fear, you still do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why when I sent you the message, it's like, yeah, it should be cool to talk to, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been cool to talk to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope I wasn't too mellow.
No, I know you're fine. Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
So,
So I think we're done.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was a long conversation.
I'm sorry.
No, 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 no. I don't mean that in a bad way. Do you normally just go like off top, like just talk about random stuff?
Yeah, like we did today.
Really?
Yeah, it's just if you and I went to a bar,
Yeah.
what happened right now would probably happen with a little less business talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now we just captured it. That's all.
That's pretty much it.
And then at the end of the day, my whole thing is I gotta have a drink for you next time.
That would be nice. A
Yeah.
glass of wine or something.
Yeah, I was talking to my production partner Mike, and I was like, "Damn it, dude, I gotta have a little bar because like we have another studio
Mm-hmm.
next door." And then I'm like, right now, obviously I have my desk in here,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm like, I gotta have a little bar for people.
A little like mini bar. Get one
Yeah,
of those little carts, bar carts,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
Like,
just put the little shot glasses on there, or the glasses of wine, and have the one that you can pull, you put the wine bottles in.
yeah, something
Yeah.
for most people. I think this
Hmm.
experience, I would imagine, and I hope that I'm doing what I think I'm doing, but I think I'm relaxing enough to get people comfortable. Like I'm
Yeah, no,
not
for sure.
like I don't think I come off too strong. That's just like just me naturally, right? I
Yeah.
think. And so I think people ease into the conversation. At
Mm-hmm.
first they're like, I don't fucking know what the fuck's going on. I've never done this.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But if there's a little bit of alcohol, it can help them.
Yeah, for sure.
It can
Alcohol
help them.
helps. Well, it could help or it could deter because some people may not be okay having a conversation on alcohol. They might let certain things spill, you know what I mean? That they would normally not want to be recorded.
Well, this is what I've told others that have been concerned about that. I'm like, dude, look, I'm a professional.
Right.
This sounds weird to say, but I'm a professional in
Yeah.
my day to day.
Yes.
And
Outside of day to day?
I also need to
Nah.
protect you. I'm not
Right.
going to be a dick and put something out there that's going to fuck you just
Yeah.
for virality. That's not what I'm
Right.
looking for.
Right. Right. Right.
That's not what I want to happen to people. People
Mm-hmm.
be like, "Fuck that guy."
Yeah, for
I would
sure.
never do that. I would never do that to anyone, man. No.
Did we get any bloopers?
Was there any bloopers?
I don't think so.
I'm good.
What?
I said I'm good.
What do you mean you're good?
That
I love bloopers.
are there bloopers? I'm sure there are.
I love bloopers, especially when you're just in the moment. You know what I mean? You're comfortable with someone.
I think I think I think there are.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to say? Is there a message?
He's nuts.
See? There you go. That one, oh, you know which one was a blooper?
What?
The
Hey,
Slovakian.
yeah, do you know Wilma?
Hold on. Don't tell me. Dude, you're the one that told me this shit.
Yeah.
Don't tell me.
Do you guys know Wilma?
Wilma. Hold on. Well, the Wilma that I know is a hoe. Um,
Wilma. Wilma, ball spit in your mouth.
God, I can't believe I didn't get that.
You into fitness?
I mean that one's so easy.
That one's easy,
That
right?
one's easy. Um, uh, well, you could say it.
What?
Fitness.
Oh, yeah, fitness.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, fitness taking your mouth.
Um, what other one?
How tall are you?
5'9".
Okay, I think we had this conversation before.
Yeah.
You want to do rapid fire questions?
Okay.
All
Oh,
right.
you go first.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate. I'm not gonna be good at this. Chocolate chip or oatmeal?
Chocolate chip. 1000%.
Okay. We homies.
Okay. Savory or sweet for breakfast?
Savory.
Okay, so like eggs, bacon, and all that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm not like a super sweet person for breakfast. Like, I like pancakes, but I'm not like super big into the sweet stuff for breakfast. I'd rather have protein and fruit.
I'd rather have pancakes and waffles for like 1 o'clock in the morning.
1 o'clock. Oh yeah, those are good when you have the
Yeah.
munchies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so next, we already did the whole beach and the mountains thing, right?
You said you want the beach.
Do you like coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Okay, I like both.
Tea's for
Tea's for the rest
tea's
of
for
my day.
losers. It's like you're drinking like grassy juice.
Grassy juice? No,
It's
you're
like
not. Yeah,
you
there's so many benefits to drinking tea though.
it's
So many.
it's like taking your kid to a soccer game. He rolled around in the grass, and then you just run his t-shirt through like
Shut up. Yeah.
the sink, and then
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's
Yeah.
tea. But I've
Gotcha.
drank tea before. And teas actually has caffeine in it. I just don't like the grassiness of it.
Let me see if I can find more rapid fire questions because this is supposed to be rapid fire and
Oh,
you're not
like
doing a
quicker?
good.
We're not doing a good
Okay.
job.
What was your first job?
Paying job or job? I'll give you both.
Okay.
So my first job,
I want job.
I want a job. So my first job was translating at a cowboy western movie set.
What? How old were you?
9.
What? That was not paid, I'm assuming.
10 cents.
What?
And then I went into the bar and I broke a pool stick and got fired. So that was my first non-paying kind of paying job. What was oh wait, you're gonna have the questions and then I guess I'm gonna do your questions and you're gonna hand me your phone and then
Should we
I'll
do both answer the questions?
well no, because you get a chance to think about it.
Okay. Okay,
So I'm
here. You pick one.
okay. Have you hold on.
There's some good ones in there.
No, well what do you think the meaning of life is?
That's not a rapid
It's
fire
on here.
answer, dude.
It says deep rapid fire question.
That's a deep rapid.
Okay.
What's the meaning of life? Life's not what's in it for you. Life's about what's in you for others.
Okay. Um, what object do you misplace or lose the most?
Oh my goodness. I would have to say my glasses,
The
my
ones you
real
don't like to wear?
glasses. The ones I don't like to wear. Yeah, I misplace those the most, I would say.
Are you nearsighted or farsighted? Or like
I
cross-sighted?
am cross-sighted. I can't see far. So that's what.
Nearsighted,
Yeah, I think so.
I think.
I know. I think it's the opposite. Like if you can't see far, you're nearsighted. If you can't see
Yeah,
near,
yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah.
farsighted.
All right. Do you know how to perform a magic trick?
No.
Okay.
Do you?
Oh,
Okay, what
I am
is
a
do
magician.
you have a special talent, like something random that you know how to do that most people don't?
I'm sure there's a few gents in the world that know how to do what I do.
Besides your dancing?
Um, I don't think so.
No, nothing crazy special. Okay.
I mean, I pick up stuff with my feet.
Okay. Hence why people keep asking for your feet
I'm like, come on,
pictures.
pick up on it. I don't think I have a hidden talent. I found out how to paint during the pandemic. I found out that I can really paint. I found that it's a passion. I know how to draw.
That's awesome.
Um, it's peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
It's so peaceful.
Really.
Um, I just get lost in it, and time doesn't exist.
That's awesome.
So,
I feel like that when I'm cooking.
ew.
Oh,
I was
you.
just talking to Mike about that. And Mike was like, "Oh, I love cooking." And he's like, "It's again, what he said is peaceful is the fact that he has to think a lot. Like
Mm-hmm.
you have to prep and
Yeah.
measure and it doesn't allow me to think of anything else or no
Right.
distractions.
Yeah.
And the
It's
whole time
awesome
I'm cooking, I'm anxious. I'm like,
to
it
eat the
takes too
food.
long. I hate it. I will always just eat out, like buy out. Like I know how to cook. I just it's too much of a process.
You know what I've found though that's really enjoyable for me is that I like to smoke first, right? And
You
then,
haven't smoked.
no, I have not. I like to smoke first. I think I suck too hard. I like to smoke, and then I um put on my music. I have my Alexa in the kitchen. I like to put on my music, whatever I'm in the mood for, and then I start cooking.
Let's see
This is that.
if it stays on.
This
It's
is
not
the
the
after show to the after
okay.
party.
Bye.
Let's talk about something funny. You want to do more rapid fire questions?
I just wish it's kind of like let's say comedians and their podcasts and things that
Mm-hmm.
they have, and there's so much freedom in what they
Yeah,
do.
for sure.
I wish I had that level of freedom.
I know. We don't though.
We don't. That's
But
the
who's gonna start it? It might be you.
man. It's kind of
I'll
like
run with you.
yeah,
I'm right behind you all the way.
piggyback.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the whole hand tattoos and neck tattoos, right?
Yeah.
So I've talked about this with my tattoo artist,
Mm-hmm.
and he's a friend of mine. He was my roommate, and so like
Was your roommate or is?
was my roommate.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was my roommate, and we talked about when to do the hand and neck tattoos, and
Mm-hmm.
that's when either I have fuck you money, which I
Mm-hmm.
don't, or when I'm 50 or 55. Like
Mm-hmm.
if I'm 55, let's say, and I haven't
Mm-hmm.
retired, right? I'm still working in this industry because I have to work in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, I have 10 years left before I get my SSI or a
Mm-hmm.
couple years, I can technically if that was the unfortunate route that I went down.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be an appropriate time to be like, you know what? I got fuck you money or I'm going to retire soon.
Mm-hmm.
Blast my fucking hands and blast my neck because this is who I am.
Yeah.
Um, and sometimes when I'm at the shop, I'll tell him like, bro, just fucking tattoo my hand. And you have to be like, what are you talking about? We already talked about this.
Oh, he says that
Yeah,
too.
we
Yeah.
already talked about this. Like,
Yeah.
what's gotten into you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, dude, I really want my fucking hand tattooed.
Yeah.
Like I'd like a compass on my hand, like a nautical compass on my hand.
Yeah.
My
Kind of
entire
cool.
left arm is family,
Oh,
right? So it's
okay.
my grandparents, my
Mm-hmm.
brothers, parents' signatures. It's family. So to me, it's like they're like the North Star. It keeps
Mm-hmm.
me aligned, going in
That's
the right
awesome.
direction.
Yes.
Tattooing my hands, my fingers, which would be hold fast, which I have
Mm-hmm.
Popeye on this side
Mm-hmm.
and Popeye on his hands. If you look, he has hold fast, which is the sailor term, which you see that
Mm-hmm.
there, where back in the day, sailors in troubled waters, like you have to hold fast because
Mm-hmm.
you'll fall off.
Mm-hmm.
You'll fall off. Obviously, you have to tie yourself. And so going through life through troubled waters, you hold fast. So
Mm-hmm.
again, it's the family,
Mm-hmm.
North Star in the right direction, and then holding fast to what's important.
Mm-hmm.
All those things go into a tattoo, which someone
Mm-hmm.
might just see as it's art
Yeah.
or it's insignificant
Yeah.
or it's something he likes. It's like, no, dude. And I talked to my dad about it. It's like everything that's on my body is significant,
Mm-hmm.
extremely significant. But to someone else, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
But to someone else, it's like, I'm not professional. It's like, no, it's just art on my body of things
Yeah.
that are so significant to me that I'm willing to etch them in.
Like, would you rather live in a house that has no roof, right? Or no walls? So with a roof, nobody can see you, but up above, right? But you're exposed to the elements. So think about it. You're exposed to the rain, to every snow, whatever the case. You don't have a roof, but people can't see you. If you have a roof and no walls, though, people can see you. Does that make sense? But you have a roof.
Yeah, but you can't have a roof without walls. That was my first thought.
No,
I'm like,
no. We're not going that deep.
I mean, that's where I went. I'm like,
Oh shit.
is
Did I
this
press
a?
it?
No, you're
Hello?
good.
Testing?
Yeah, you're good.
One,
I was
5.
like, is that a
Well, what is
fucking?
that called?
I have no idea. I think it's called A mixer.
Oh, I have a mixer at home, but not that small. I have a big one.
Yeah, so this one records 10 microphones.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah,
It's really cool.
yeah, a friend
So,
of mine who's LAPD, um, it's one of the ones that he didn't need for his setup anymore, I guess.
oh, interesting. Okay, so the mic goes into the mixer, and
Mm-hmm.
then how do you get the voice? How do you, and then the mixer goes to where?
To
Or is
just
there a memory
there.
card in there?
There's a memory card in there.
Gotcha. Okay, so now when you're editing the video, how do you match the voice to
I
the
look at
video?
all the times that you were licking your lips and like cleaning your teeth with that lipstick on,
Yeah.
and then I sync it up
You
to the.
suck.
Oh my. Okay, hold on.
ASMR.
Yeah. So no, the way that I sync it, and I thought that was just stupid because my friend said there needs to be a clap. I'm
So
like,
did you clap
yeah, I did.
like that?
Yeah. So what he said is there's three claps. He's like, it sounds stupid. He's like, but do
Yeah.
three claps because then again, when you pull that up, it gives you the spikes of volume when you look at it, and then
Oh,
you'll automatically see one, two, three,
three.